I'm about to post it in the chat as soon as it pop up.
School buffs.
They told me bust out my AP. Perfect time, perfect time. Got them baguettes up on my nigga, stay shining. It's never hot around my jewelry, chase a climbing. I went and got that new Maybach, I stayed grinding. They told me bust out my AP. Perfect time, perfect time. Got them baguettes up on my nigga, stay shining. It's never hot around my jewelry, chase a climbing. I went and got that new Maybach, I stayed grinding. Can't with me, yeah they lying. I ain't even hit my peak, I ain't trying. 100K before I sign it. Okay, what they pay? I got reminded. One more time. In your city, no we lit, we had these like every time. Face go pretty, yeah. Take her out to dinner and wine. She ain't never had a with all this motion for online. She said she need me, she know I handle business every time. They told me bust out my AP, perfect time, man. Got them baguettes up on my nigga, stay shining. It's never hot around my jewelry, chase a climbing. I went and got that new Maybach, I stayed grinding. They told me bust out my AP, perfect time, man. Got them baguettes up on my nigga, stay shining. It's never hot around my jewelry, chase a climbing. I went and got that new Maybach, I stayed grinding. Perfect time, I stay shining. Ice.
Hey, hey, hey. Homecoming, back at it, bitch. Season 2, let's go. Game day conversation. You already know how we doing it, man. It's the Dynasty Guru DNA. You know what we about. Let's get to it, man. We're in season 2. Before we go completely ballistics about what's going to happen in season 2, let's talk about the closing of season 1. I'm here today representing DNA, Homecoming, Double R, all of it underneath the DNA Gaming banner, right? So here we are, man. I'm here with my co-host today, uh, Coach Hitter is not around today to be the co-host, and we have our other co-host. Man, it's always fun when he stops by. You know, we're gonna get into a whole lot of debating when he's on chat talking and shit. And Mr. Know It All, Maximus, Max Millions. What's up with you, cuz?
What's going on? Live?
Shit, you know our debate segment is great, go crazy. You know how that go. But before we get into 2025 season right now, man, let's talk about the closing of 2024, man. I think that championship game really re-energized the league, especially a person like me who is completely responsible for the entertainment part of the league. I shut down because I allowed things to happen early on in the league and we kind of like had to get back on track. But we're there now. Turning the page. That's the name title of the segment today. Actually, the show, not the segment. But I gotta say, man, watching Brandon coach Alabama and Craig coach Penn State, two totally different football teams, both blue blood programs that's been around for years. They've been, college football is elite for a long time. Uh, both, over the last decade have definitely different trajectories on how they, their seasons go, winning and all that stuff go. We know what Alabama's history is under Nick Saban. We also know, it's hell to go to Penn State and play under their home field. Man, if you haven't ever been to a place in college to watch football games, please go to a whiteout game at Penn State, Pennsylvania. But we saw two different teams, man. Last time we was on here, Max, we talked about that matchup and the challenges it would present. I don't think we was off too much, right? Like that was a football game, bro. Like it was a really good football game, first and
No, it
foremost.
was definitely a classic, some would say, just to start off the season. I think set the tone kind of for like everybody that maybe doesn't get a chance to catch every game. You know, if you saw that game, you would kind of be able to understand the levels of competition we have.
Yeah, man. Intense game planning, right? You saw two coaches stick to what they do best, right? And you saw coaches that didn't get outside of their skin. That game was won off of a fumble recovery by Alabama's D line. And if you watched the game, you saw what I saw. Drew Aller had plenty of time in the pocket. Like he walked up, still looking to throw, being a pocket passer that he is. And at the last second, he started to take off and got stripped from behind. No pause, no diddy, no bell diddy, and they recovered the fumble, and that's all she wrote. Uh, what precedent does those two teams set? Uh, Playing a game in such that manner, like that type of good football game, because it was a really good football game.
I think for both of them individually, they're definitely like teams where you would look at them and obviously the prestige of the teams. They're making a statement, we're going to be back, I think, in the type of game that it was. And then, for I feel like, SEC, they get to claim, their SEC. And yeah, I think it's a shot to the Big Ten and the Big 12 and the ACC, kind of get in where they fit in. Because Penn State's a powerhouse, obviously, and Bama's a powerhouse with two good coaches that, like you said, understand their team and scheme. So really, what would stop them from, trying to achieve that the next couple of years?
Man, um, another thing that stood out in my assessment of the game was, man, and I think this stood uh, for the entire college football season. If you had a quarterback, you had a chance. Would,
Yeah,
would you agree with that statement?
I would say it's pretty accurate.
If you had a quarterback, you had a chance. Um, and you're gonna see that thing. You're gonna see that thing throughout the top 25. You're gonna see those guys that got that guy back, or got a guy, or got guys that are learning a new guy, right? And that's college football, right? The revolving door from leaving to coming in to hitting the portal to all that stuff is gonna play a part. And what this season end up shaping out to be. But I will say this, and I can say this with 100% confidence, knowing if you got a quarterback, again, you have a chance, Max. Why is that statement so true?
Just the ability to make plays and put people in right situations, really good throws, and I feel like, there are some runners in the league, but it comes down to you can run the ball well, but if you throw only 12, 10 passes, you got to go 11 for 12, 10 for 12, 8 for like 10 or something like that. You have to be really efficient. So it comes down to really still who's throwing the football.
Hmm. Yep. And I just think the rise of having a guy as your signal caller strengthens everything about your team, not just offensively, defensively. It's things that you could do with a really good quarterback that can literally control football games and help you in the win column uh, all the way out. So Max, you watched one of the better instant classic, would you call it, super championship instant classic, right?
Yeah,
National
I
title
think it
game.
just becomes the instant classic first season national title, the two teams and the way that they played.
And here's the crazy part about it, right? Like
Not true.
both of those, not true. Where you at, hoodie? Shed light on that. Not true. What are you saying? Not true to? We would love to debate that. What are you talking about, Hoodster? First of all, how you been, man? I hit you in the chat yesterday and the day before, and you ignored my ass. So what's going on with you, buddy? With that being said, I would love for you to post your comment
Don't
on
you
not
need a
true.
QB to make it?
Huh? Okay. All right. So let's
What'd he
stay there,
say?
Max. You don't need a quarterback to make it. So let's stay there. Let's stay there for a second. All right. What was the difference in the Alabama Penn State game? Because he could be
Um,
right. I'm
I
not.
would
I'm
say the
standing on what I said. You got a
I would
quarterback.
say
You
the
have a
difference
chance, is what I said.
chance, yeah. I would say
Right.
the difference in the game really is just the explosive plays that Alabama was able to do offensively. Penn State had no problem putting on a drive, but that shit can get tiring. Shit can wear on your players, and it only takes one wrong play, i.e. a strip fumble, where
Hmm.
like now the ball is no longer yours. That kind of is where I think the game went in difference there. I think both the quarterbacks played
Jet
their
sweeps was
style.
the difference.
The
Definitely
only thing I
was.
would say into Hoodie's conference to comment is like you maybe can get away with not really having a quarterback, but 9 times out of 10, I'm willing to bet that he's probably at least
P-
he's a dual threat, and you're getting away with him not throwing because you can run, which is still
Was
a
there
weapon at
was there a
quarterback.
team was there a team in the playoffs in 2024? The 12 playoff teams that made it to the playoffs, right?
Hmm.
Name one that didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
The
Like
only
I don't.
quarterback is two that I'll stand on, and that's Leonard Riley from Notre Dame and uh, Will Howard for Ohio State. Outside of that, everybody that made it to the playoffs got there with a quarterback that got them there. And I would say help got them there. I'm not going to say, because I think Hoodie is coming from the standpoint of, is Kubnik that guy? And could he win without with Kubnik not having a great day or putting on the Superman cape? Yes, he won a lot of games last year where Kubnik wasn't the guy to go win the game. But again, Leonard Riley, game manager, Will Howard,
Did that
game
mean
managers.
whose defense showed up?
Yep, whose defense showed up, and that championship game came down to the stuff that and no disrespect to anybody or please I'm going to say some things and you're not going to agree with me. You might agree with me, but you know YouTube a motherfucker. We came into this disc thinking that it would be the old games, right? Style of play where you can't. It's college football, right? YouTube can't affect you. But what was one of the main things ran online when the first game came out that you could not stop?
In general,
Yeah, like what was one of the easiest? You need a first down, you can run it no matter where the fuck you at on the field because if the blocking set up, a jet sweep could turn the corner and do whatever.
yeah, I was about to say a
That was
jet
one of the
touch.
biggest YouTube things out there when the game first dropped, right? So touch passes, jet touches, and things like that. But what made it sweet for Alabama was in that Penn State game, speed kills. So I'll ask you this, Hoodie, and I know you know, I wish I can get you on instead of you just typing, but we'll get to you. You played Alabama in the playoffs. What was the difference in that game? Because you said jet sweeps was the difference in that Penn State game, and I agree 100 with that. But I'm also thinking, was that a part of y'all game, and what kind of like did that kill you in y'all game? Is what I'm asking, I guess. The Clemson Alabama matchup. What made it hard for Craig and Penn State, they just didn't have the talent and the speed to match with. Like, look, Craig lost on the offensive line. Uh, I'm talking about Alabama's offensive line. They neutralized that D line, and and Penn State got a pretty solid D line. They got the best D lineman in the country, who we'll be talking about later on, who didn't go to the NFL. He said, "Fuck the money, NIL. I'm living good off of that. I want one more shot at the title." But you saw the strength of Alabama's offensive line is the reason why everything he did offensively worked. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
So, Hoodie, the jet sweeps in that Clemson Alabama game, did that hurt you? Was that like a factor into the loss in that game, in the playoff game? I mean, me personally, I think, again, I'm not saying you can't win without a quarterback. I do think it's harder to win without a quarterback. What I do think, though, if you have a guy as your signal caller, you got a chance. And with college football itself, stops is everything, right? Whoever gets the stop, like you said, the Penn State and Alabama championship game came down to a stop, right?
Yeah,
It
literally
literally
at the
came
end,
down
just the one
to
stop.
I got the ball with a minute and 40 left, and you haven't stopped me, just like I haven't stopped you. I held you to a field goal, you giving me a chance to win this ball game, and defense shows up and get a strip sack to win that ball game. That's the stop, right? It don't matter if it's point 30, somebody putting 34 on you. If you get the stop you need at the right moment, you can still a game. And I think that's what Hoodie is talking about. I think Hoodie absolutely believes you can win, get to a playoff, and win the whole shit without having a quarterback. We're going to find that out this year, right? We're going to find out in
It's gonna be a lot
2025.
of guys.
We're
Almost
going to
gonna be a
find out.
lot of
Not
guys.
not everybody got the same signal caller they had to start the disc off with. It's a lot of teams bringing in new quarterbacks, and we're going to find out who's who, right? Because if you aren't a guy that has a quarterback in the sense of this, if you got a quarterback, you got a chance. That was my quote early on. If you don't know who your quarterback is yet, or you got an up and coming guy and you're trying to figure some things out, you're going to need the rest of your team to be up to par to be able to win and go far, in my opinion. But as we go through things, you'll see it's a lot of teams that's going to be, running out week one with a new quarterback. Max, knowing that, right? 2025. What's the expectations of the season? Like, I mean, you got the blue bloods. We understand what blue bloods look like and what their rosters look like. You got guys that did a hell of a job in the recruiting stage to
No, I
continue
think
to build
Alvin
off of
did
that.
the shit and he was able to take advantage of it.
True, true. Always gonna keep it real, 100. But just not, just with a lot of new guys, new faces that's gonna become faces of this league. As far as the players that's in it, right? What's your expectations this season? Like, it was a lot of good quarterbacks that left, whether through graduation or the NFL, that left this year in 2025. So, what's your expectations for 2025?
Uh, I feel like if you definitely had somebody that returned as your quarterback, um, then you definitely have that top chance of getting into the final 12. But I would say for a lot of people, uh, it's probably this year is the real year of like some of the reality setting in about your program.
Hmm.
Because then I would say next year is probably like the actual telltale, like the identity of you and your program.
Hmm.
Um, it's a 3 year window. The first 3 years, to be exact, it's kind of like if you were a 5 star, you look down this year and next year because last year already happened, kind of like came and went in a sense where you really didn't get much control of your team through and through with like recruiting and such like that and who you could cut. Now it's really you have the identity of your team, and for some of the users, they'll be on the upside of it. Some of the users will realize that they're like slowly sliding down the totem pole as far as um
What you going to see this year though in 2025? What you going to see all year long? It's going to be about the Jimmy and Joes. It's going to be about the Jimmy and Joes, right? And it's going to be some guys that's going to have to show how good of coaches they are. But for the most part, if you got the Jimmys and you got the Joes, makes X and O's so much easier. And you're gonna see it. You're gonna see those rosters that have the Jimmy and Joes. You're gonna see it, right? And you're gonna have to deal with that, right? And then you're gonna have those guys that just can coach themselves into situations, and they're gonna have to do that. We saw that last year. I mean, we saw Syracuse, but again, Syracuse had a quarterback, Kyle McCord. They had a guy, right? And you saw week one of Syracuse and not knowing who's the guy yet. You saw what Tennessee did to them. They lost to Tennessee by 10 last year on the road, and they got uh, really beat bad with an inconsistent quarterback. And you're going to see that throughout all. Like, I mean, Shador Sanders is now a first round pick in the NFL. Uh, Someone's new is stepping in to take that job. Like you're going to see it all over the country, and then you're going to see those guys that are better plant their flag because their quarterback is still there. And then not only that, do they have the Jimmy and Joes surrounding that quarterback? Here's the program builders, right? We're going to see a lot of stuff that's going to run its course this year. Um, but with that being said, Max, how important is X and O's versus the Jimmy and Joes?
uh I would say it's kind of like I would say it's kind of like starting the car. The first part, the Jimmys and Joes, I feel like is putting the key in the ignition, and then the X's and O's is kind of start your car and how you're about to drive and where you're about to drive the car. Because
Your
Jimmy and Joe's
navigational
the
system.
first, yeah, Jimmy and Joe's your first 2 years is kind of foundational, like you said. Like they might not be, you might have to sacrifice some guys to be here for 3 years, or the other way around. Some guys see if they can sit out the long term, so you get the most out of them in 5 years, 6 years. But like, if you really can't tune in and find and figure that out, your Jimmy and Joe's ain't gonna matter. You might find yourself under recruiting, over recruiting, bad recruiting, um, just not developing. So now it just looks bad. You know what I'm saying? You got to really be true to what your style is and who you are. So I would say it goes first though, the Jimmys and Joes, because like right now, I think second season is all about foundation builders or foundation sustainability, like sustaining what your team is and your prestige and who you are. And for some people, it's about building them up. Maybe if it happens fast, that way it's a lot easier down the road because
Right.
true blue bloods, that shit is not just in these first couple of little recruits. Like they're blue
That's
bloods for a reason. It's really down to like in their DNA, they're gonna be good,
Yep.
or at
And
least have the opportunity to be
to
good.
be good, right? So and we saw that. Like we saw Georgia, they ranked number 14 in the country this year. They had a absolutely disappointing season uh, with their Jimmy and Joes, for sure, right? But doesn't do nothing to that roster because that the Jimmy and Joes is all over that roster, right? So all they gotta do is continue to do what they always do, which is kill the recruiting scene and then put the product on the field. And as long as those guys stay there and develop and grow up, you're always going to be in a good situation, right? Um, but you're going to see this year, though, to me, what you'll see this season is you're going to see guys still surviving off of the Jimmy and Joes that's already on those rosters, right? Like it's still not a turnover yet, right? Like not a complete turnover. You lost key players. Everybody did. Some guys got to keep their key players. And you're gonna see that take its course, right? You're still surviving off of what the team makeup was when you took the team, when you decided to choose and coach that football team, which you had, as far as Jimmy and Joe's on that roster, for the most part, are gonna still be there, which is, the NIL players. They're still in the building, right? And, and if you are one of those teams that have what you need, you should be looking good and feeling good about your football team, right? And then you have those guys that know we got some Jimmies, we got some Joes, but the X and O's is going to be the deciding factor on what we do all year long. And we're going to need some things to happen for us to, be able to play with the big dogs in a sense, right? And that's going to be the fun part where you're watching guys, start to separate themselves. Guys start to really show who they are. Things like that are going to show in this second season, in my opinion. Especially those that had senior-led teams, right? Player-led teams where, you starting over at a lot of key positions, or you starting somebody new at a lot of key positions. So it's like, what did your roster look like? What did you do in the off season? And how did you put it together? And what was spring ball like for you? What was fall ball like for you? And now the product has to hit the field, and this is where the games start counting now, right? Like, you're out of fall ball and all that, and you're into the regular season. And we had a nice kickoff. We had a week 0 game. And week 1, we got some really good matchups in week 1. Max, we're going to go to conference standings for a second, and we're going to talk about those teams in those conferences right now. So as you look at the ACC, all right, Max, without even taking a deep dive into anything, let's talk about the ACC and who we feel like will control it, or is in the best position to control it. So I'll start with you. When you look at the conference you're in and the teams that you're going to have to play and match up against, what do you see as a whole when it comes down to the ACC? Clemson is ranked number 3. Florida State ranked number 7. Miami's 21. NC State's 12. Notre Dame's 4. SMU is 17 this year. Syracuse is ranked 8, although they played their first game already. All right, so what I see about the ACC, I see some teams, right? I see some really good teams, and I see some really good coaches. I would say when it comes down to the class of the ACC, it's going to be Clemson for me again. And the reason why it's going to be Clemson for me again is look at it: 90 overall, 90 offense, 91 defense. They return some guys, some Jimmies and some Joes. But I also think you got to pick the coaching that went up right along with this Clemson football team. Clemson's been written off for a while in real life. But Hoodie brought them back to dominance, right? This looks like the Clemson team that competed with the Alabamas of the
I
world.
was definitely talking on mute.
So in my estimate, you got to beat the champ, right? Clemson won the
Yeah,
ACC.
I would
You
say
got
it
to beat
goes
the
through.
champ.
I would say it goes through Clemson. Definitely for sure. I think the teams that stand at the top. I mean, the teams that's at the top, coming in year one, finished somewhat at the top or at the top year one, will probably have the better bet because they also had decent recruiting classes. I think coaching goes into it. Um, I think coaching goes into it and a little bit of what their year two schedules will look like. I kind of obviously know clear year one Clemson schedule and Notre Dame's. So a little bit more lenient schedules on both accords. And then year two, it just kind of depends because of where they finished year one, where like, will some of that scheduling allow a Syracuse, an NC State, both in the playoffs last year, Florida State, like, will that allow them to kind of maybe sneak certain games in and be able to finish with a better conference
I got
record
a lot of
potentially?
question marks for Florida State, but before I go there, let's talk about it.
Definitely.
Okay, so uh, you got a quarterback, you got a chance. Does Clemson have a quarterback, Max? Cade Klubnik is over here as a senior year, 92 overall. He's a 90, but with the Green Owls up 92 right now. He looks like Like this could be this literally could be his year. Like if he put the work in, and the results on the field is going to show this year on how hard he worked over the offseason. But my question to you is, you got a quarterback, you got a chance. Clemson is in a situation where they have a quarterback returning that took them to the second round of the playoffs
I
or
think
third round, right? Didn't they go
definitely
to the third round?
third round. Wait, third
Yeah,
round.
yeah, third
Yeah,
round.
third
Clemson
round.
beat. Yep, they went to the third round of the playoffs. Yep. So, all right, Klubnik's back.
Um,
So we,
I think Klubnik is definitely on paper, whether it's agreed if he's actually player usage, and on paper is definitely the best quarterback in the conference.
I'm gonna say this: if Morton didn't have a red shirt on him, knowing who Hoodie is and how he get down, you'd be surprised. I'll be surprised that Klubnik will start this year. But I see what he's doing and I understand it, right? Because he got a solid ass dual threat sitting right here with 93 speed, 91 excel, and 93 throw power. You haven't seen the offensive coordinator for the Clemson Tigers. You haven't seen them in their bag for real until you see them with a quarterback that can move around. Right, Klubnik with 86 speed, he can do some things. That's really good speed to escape and do some things, but it's a little different when you got a true dual threat sitting on this roster, and they're going to redshirt this guy. They already tagged him as a red shirt with the kid Morton. In my opinion, Alfonso Morton, I like him. Let's see what he's hitting on. Right, like you get themselves a 3-star impact, 3-star from out of Millbrook, Alabama. Like, think about this, Max, right? And then the impact tells you he's going to develop a little bit. I'm not going to give out too much or nothing, but if you look at ratings, you know he has a lot of room for development right now. So that red shirt tag is great. And that's a smart coaching move, especially when you have a Klubnik. And then in all actuality, Vizzini's a 5-star as well. So you got guys, right? So you can afford to
Please.
sit this guy down. But can you see what this Clemson team is going to do under Coach Hoodie with Morton when it's his time?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of really seeing what those other Joes and whoever the hell's Joes and Johns look like, when it's his time to kind of get the reins. Obviously, Klubnik's last year will be for that, to kind of get a little go ahead and start up on developing those Joes and Johns and shit. So I really just
Signing up
if
next.
he passes the torch off right, I could really see a good little thing here for him.
Listen, I hear you. You have a handle on your football team. I hear you. And I can see why. Let me take a look at Slayton and see why he's saying Slayton up next. 5-star quarterback with star on him. That's why. You're not going to not play a 5-star. Here's my thing. Them stars don't matter once they step on campus, buddy. I don't care about all that. It's all about what they do. And here's what I think. You got two situations. All I know is right now, Clemson doesn't have a quarterback problem right now, or the near future, or the late future. They're in a good situation. This is a hell of a recruiting job by Coach Hoodie and this Clemson staff to be able to bring in a 5-star and redshirting, bring in a 3-star who has 5-star capability, right? And then you still got a 5-star Vizzini sitting on a bench as a backup right now, who's only a redshirt sophomore. They are in a comfortable situation where I mean, a smart recruiter always goes after a quarterback every year, but they don't really have to hit on a quarterback for the next 3 to 4 years if they didn't, if they didn't want to. But we know they
Yeah.
will. But if they didn't want to, now let's go back to you said something. What are the Jimmy and the Joes going to look like when it's Morton or Slayton's time to play? Well, let's take a look at that. Sophomore is his show now. I would think. I'm not 100% sure, but we got tags, red shirts on Everett Boyd and red shirts on Niles Goldwire. So it looks like Green and Spitz are going to be the ball carriers 1 and 2 right now. When you take a look at them, you're looking at elusive back and Jarvis Green. Uh, then you're going down to Spitz, who's definitely a power back, head first, downhill, and balance. But then you also got Dave Huvall, all types of different running backs in this backfield, right? They got receivers that can catch the ball at the backfield from the running back position, and Huvall, and then Green. So I think they're young at running back. You want to know about the Jimmy and Joes? Let's take a look at the Jimmy and Joes, right? When you take a look at these freshmen, what did they actually bring in? Let's talk about stars. 4-star power back impact. This is when you're a blue blood and you know what you're doing. Oh my God. All right, so Boyd got the red shirt on him. I'm not gonna spend too much time on him, but he got a 4-star star. He's gonna be a crazy develop right there. Hooval, let's see what he looks like. Another 4-star elite. It's like he's gonna have a decision to make. Like the last time we saw the white boy running back for Clemson, that man made it to the NFL. Am I right?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie though. He definitely got a decision to make,
Oh
but
my God. Hold up, and then you got Goldwire as well. Let's see what he's sitting on. 4-star star. Now, see, not only is he winning and what he did in the recruiting stage, right? But the fact that he's getting guys that have development traits, that tells me that his program is going to build. That means their trainer, weight condition coaches, and all that stuff that's going to get they got work to do, and the work is going to be easy when you bring in guys that already been putting in their work in high school. It's just that simple. Just that simple. How do you feel about this running back room? They have everything you need: power back, elusive back, receiving backs. They have everything you need in this backfield to play hoodie ball.
I think that's kind of the thought there is he went 1 for 1 on each type of running back. Obviously, knowing he'll have some carryover and he'll have his ladder effect, and whichever one he eventually sees can really serve the best performance for him as far as not just the label on the running back, but eventually how they end up playing is where I think, he'll start to run with a certain identity, but juggling, each type of running back, because most programs have a certain style of running
Mm-hmm.
backs that they cater towards.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State's is elusive,
Mm-hmm.
Clemson's, Georgia's is
Mm-hmm.
power back. You know what I'm saying? Such on and such
Yeah.
forth. So he's already playing it open, but I think the best thing about it is he's playing it open, not to just go with the Clemson scheme, but play his hoodie ball and figure
Hoodie
out which one
ball.
is really
Right?
going to
What are
give
you
him the
going to
best
do when that
actual
speed at the
output.
quarterback rolling out and you got that receiver in the backfield that can motherfucker playmaker you to death and do some hoodie ball shit? Like, I think he's in a great situation going forward. I think he's looking for a running back that can move the chains, and that's why Green will get the start over here. But it's always telling. You can tell what a coach is thinking by watching the red shirts, right or wrong.
hmm The
Right,
red
most
shirts and then
right.
generally
This is
who
a
they
blue
bring
blood
in. Yeah.
program who did a really good job in recruiting because he's redshirting guys in the 70s versus some of us that's redshirting 60s and things like that. So shout out to him. So let's continue to move on. We're gonna look at the wide receiver position because you said it depends on what the Jimmies and Joes look like for the future quarterback, right?
Yeah, and I'm fully aware of Clemson's general roster, but
So
that's what I
I'm
mean as
so I'm
far
about
as
to shut
the
the fuck up and allow you to talk about this receiver.
um I'm blindly looking, I ain't even gonna lie, but you got Antonio
Tyler
Williams who
Brown.
came
Stop,
back,
stop, stop, stop.
Tyler
Got you,
Brown.
Junior. Tyler Brown, Junior. 89 overall. He's the highest overall receiver in the program. Physicals. Brown's shifty. Brown's double dip. Silver takeoff. Silver layout.
Tyler Brown, he's a dog. He's been a dog. He's a true junior now, right?
True
Should be
junior.
a
Yep.
true junior. So I mean, yeah, you'll get him this year. I don't. I think it depends on Hoodie and his greed at the wide receiver level and how ready he's maybe to get the next guy coming up. If he really wants to sit there and allow him to go to the draft without asking him to stay. But if not, then you got a for sure wide receiver one, esque and build coming back. Well, college build coming back uh, for another year. T.J. Moore, outside dog.
Deep
Uh,
threats, 92 speed,
yeah,
95 excel. This is where things get a little good for these type of players. When you start looking at the bill, right? When I see the receivers, it's all good to see the speed and all that, right? But like 92 speed, 95 look way better when the agility is 95 and the change of direct is 90. That shit changes everything, right? You're looking
hmm
at Tyler Brown, again, their strength and condition coach got these guys really, really on supply metric shit. This man is agility 99 and change of direct 99. And we ain't even get into the catching stuff, right? But their first three receivers got catch 89, 91, 90. That's the first three because Antonio Williams is back as well.
and this is really my favorite receiver. I'm sure it could be Hoodie's favorite receiver, but this is my favorite receiver
That's because he's
technically
a
in
real
Clemson.
draft receiver. He's a guy that come out in our real draft leagues all the time.
And I mean, he's just a general dog. I call him Mr. Do It All because I feel like he can play all the positions on the field. Great sense of after the catch, and honestly, just one of those guys that kind of fits the like Clemson colors. Like he just looks like he kind of belongs at Clemson. But those three right there, I think, obviously, generally can carry him potentially, depending on who comes back next year, this year, and next year. Because if he doesn't get both Williams and Browns gone then you know at least one of them is returning with more, which is that 1 year buffer of a ladder to really allow these other red shirts down here to be then in their red shirt freshman year and red shirt year. Wesco's another sleeper, which I imagine who'll get a
But
lot
hold
more
up
playing
though,
time this year.
Redshirt Senior and Troy Stellato. I mean, he even developed to an 84 overall, 83 true 83, 92 speed, 94 excel with 90 agility, 88 change direct. Here's my thing: if I'm him, right, I'm looking at this wide receiver room, and you might not understand what I'm about to say right now, though, but there's no reason why Adam Randall should still be playing. Randall should still be playing receiver.
Yeah, I would have moved Randall to tight end, and Wesco would begin redshirted or playing just because Randall would be a tight end.
And he's the perfect speed to sell threshold for him to be able to do that, right? Holla at me, hoodie. That might be a situation for you. And here's the thing, though. I'm not even gonna play him this year. I'm gonna slap the shirt on him. He coming back for his senior year. If I was managing this team right now, Randall at 6'2", 225, any athlete or receiver that's 6'1" or above, that's 215 or above, can be moved to tight end as long as they're not faster than a 93 speed. Randall, in my opinion, will be redshirted and move to tight end and let him develop as a tight end for a year and then ball out his senior year for me because that weapon that you can have at that position. Because here's the thing, again, we talking about Jimmy and Joe's, right? Go ahead, Tyler Brown, T.J. Moore, Antonio Williams. Do Troy Stiletto? How much of an impact does he have for this
I
football
count
team?
West. I none.
Because Brian
I'm
Westbrook to me
playing
is the
West. I
best
was gonna say
receiver here,
I'm playing Wesco
upside
now.
wise. Upside wise.
Upside wise, definitely Wesco. Because Moore is too hard to say because he might go out to the draft next year because of how good he is, honestly.
Well,
So it's
Moore is
hard
a
to
true
really
sophomore, so he ain't leaving this year. He got to come
not
back one
not
more
not
year.
this year. I didn't mean this year. Like I meant next year, like when he's done as a true
Right,
junior.
right,
Where
right.
Wesco ain't really play much, is what I'm guessing, just based off his development. What I remember Wesco coming in the game, he might not have played much or got a lot of touches. So like you probably can get the most out of him for this season and
They
maybe
said
next season. Really,
Coach Hoodie said that Brian Wesco is on a tremendous plan with the strength and conditioning coach. They're looking for him they want 10 to 15 pounds on him with that 6'2" frame. If they can get that on him and his speed stays the same, it's on. I like this kid Wesco. Like to me, he
yeah,
was.
Wesco's good.
Now when you take a look at what they did throughout the high school stage, right? They got shirts on every last one of their rookie receivers that's coming in. You call them rookies or freshmen. So a lot of these guys, funny, the good thing about it is a lot of these guys were there for spring ball. So they didn't, a couple of them came in the summer, but for the most part, they all were there for the spring ball. So again, I bring back the Jimmy and Joe conversation because you said it depends on what the Jimmy and Joes look like for the future quarterback. You see what the future look like over here?
Well, you said go back to if you're saying go back to his quarterback, you were saying the quarterback thing. You were saying the next quarterback he got is a
I
redshirt
said I
freshman.
said Alfonso Morton is in his he redshirting him. He been there since spring ball along with Greg Slayton, the 5 star. But he
He
said
said
Slayton,
Slayton's up
yeah, he
next.
said Slayton
Okay.
up next for sure. I don't disagree with him because he's the coach. He's going to tell you what he's going to do with his team. But I think Morton is going to be a guy that you'll see eventually. So just having those two guys for the future and what he brought in for him, right? You
Well,
bring in
yeah.
a
Okay.
five
There we go.
star
There we go.
quarterback, the receivers are going to follow. You know it, I know it, right?
Yeah. There we go. So that's what I was saying. Okay. They're both true freshmen. Okay. I don't know why I thought one of them was something else. So okay. So that's the thing. Okay. So we go here. These guys that are redshirted, I'm not necessarily counting them proven because next year they all gonna be touching the field for the same first time. That's why I said who he really gets the most out of in these top 4 or 5 guys, whether it goes to Redshirt and Randall, so you get another year out of him. That way, when the young quarterback comes up, they got a weapon like Randall. That's an option where I'm talking about like that's a real Joe to me now because the science makes sense. I got a senior redshirt weapon, and then I got my freshman redshirt quarterback.
Exactly.
Where so like that's a weapon like where it's like okay cool reliability if he can manage to bring back uh next year, not just next year, where it's just a one off on fucking Wesco and Williams. I mean, well, Wesco and Moore. He can manage to get them to a senior or a redshirt junior year. That quarterback doesn't just get 1 year of them because
Exactly.
that's not a full welcome in to the program and data like you get 1 year wonder or like not 1 year wonder because that's not that way but like you'll get that 1 year feeling of all those guys at those level when that quarterback and the rest of his weapons that came in
Which will
it's no
make them
ladder
dangerous
effect.
in the future, pretty much, right? Because they're gonna have
It
guys
will
that
but you
these
get a
quarterbacks are playing with right now. Like, don't think
right
that
now
they're
yeah
not in practice working with these guys right now. But my thing is
exactly.
this: what I do know is that you know transfer portal is real.
That's the other part too is like some of the weapons
The
can
portal is
change
real.
yeah
The portal is
it,
real. And how many when you're a blue blood program and you could bring in this type of talent at a high level like this, you're gonna lose a lot of high level talented players. So some of these guys might be on somebody else's roster next year. Let's just call it what it is. They look
definitely
really
can
good
fall
though.
that way.
I mean, this roster looks like a 90 overall roster. Like this is a really good team right now. Then you start to look at the tight end position, right? And again, you start looking at situations, right? 6'5", 220. You got McClellan. These guys are all with the shirts on them right now, right? Sophomore Dixon, redshirt freshman, and Wilder and Johnson. Jake Johnson. He's
This
a 4-star coming out of high school. Let's see if they still got the 4-star tag on him. Yep. 4-star. I mean, Clemson is loaded. But now think about Randall
this
being here
tight end
now.
room is why this is why I said Randall would have been here for me because it's cool, but like Jake Johnson is in his latter part. I want to say like transfer Texas, Texas from transfer. I want to say I think he was like Jake Johnson was somewhere else. Where the fuck was he? He was somewhere else before Clemson.
He was on
Um,
North Carolina. He transferred to North Carolina with his brother, the quarterback.
mm, okay. Yeah, so he transferred in, so he's a little bit later in his development, later in his like thing. Randall here would have been the most exciting and a surefire win as far as a matchup. I probably wouldn't have redshirted him, me personally. I would
Me,
have just
me, me personally, Jake Johnson is a threat right now, right now for this
he
football team, and he will
he oh
be in
no,
the mix.
he still is. It wasn't
CC.
even like I was saying Jake isn't. I just think Randall would have been a far better like
Yeah,
threat to
it
have
ain't,
here,
and that's what I'm saying.
honestly.
Like, it ain't too late. He need to make that decision. Like, but my thing is this: I said redshirt Randall and give him that time to develop as a tight end. You said Randall will be a threat right now.
I would have probably played Randall right now just because I think to get a feel of again if that's really how you like maybe might like them going forward. Because then now you open up a whole nother Pandora's box with the way you recruit. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain things that can go into that. So it's just I probably would have got it out the way just to benefit now. Damn, Randall's already a senior. The red shirt would have been cool for me to hold on from that 1 year to match him up with the quarterback. But like I would have probably matched up that type of athlete with my quarterback to grow and build. Like, oh, let me get a freshman in at the same time as you. Now you got a surefire type of like pony unicorn weapon at the tight end, and now that I can set that trend and start bringing in guys year to come. Where like now, if he figures it out with Randall, red shirts he's got to wait. If he doesn't red shirt, he gets to use it right away. That's my whole thing. Is red shirt, and you would have to wait to see if that's really what you like
Zone
because
noted.
with moving that receiver to tight end comes a price to pay on like blocking and another scheme fit like that you kind of got to align yourself with.
Yeah, all right. So when it comes down to the weapons and the skill positions right now, Clemson has it. They're in position, and that number 3 sticker on them, as far as where they're ranked at in the country, is legit, right? They got the you got a quarterback, you got a chance. They have that, right? I mean, that we know how good the quarterback is, but we spent most of the time talking about the future quarterbacks than we did Klubnik. It's a proven year for Klubnik, in my opinion, though. I think he got to show that he's a 5-star. He's got to show that he's an elite quarterback. He got to show that he could take this Clemson program to the heights that Sunshine took it. Um, right? And he has one last season to prove it that he can get this team to the dance. My question to you is, do you think Klubnik is the guy? Can he do it?
I think he can do it with Club Nick. I think it's going to be a matter of Club Nick, like he said before, he doesn't really feel as if. I think Club Nick is good enough to play a certain way. But
If you
I
loved
think
your
once,
quarterback, you wouldn't have hopped on here talking about some. Nah, I
uh,
don't agree with that. You don't need a quarterback to win. That's a nigga that don't like his quarterback.
yeah, he don't like, yeah, he definitely doesn't like Club Nick. I think Club Nick is well more than serviceable though, as far as schematic wise, to be able to put him in a
Can he
situation
get
to.
it done? Can he get this team to the national title game with Klubnik?
I think so. He was one game short last year. I think he can do it. The problem is now it's back into the hands of Klubnik, where last year he had Mafa and Brenningstool, and those are
So he got the
unique
fancy.
players.
So he got the fancy cars, right? We know that they got offensively so far. What we just saw on this roster, they got the fancy cars, right? But who the fuck they got that's going to be the security guards, the bouncers, the motherfucking guys that's the block bullies. That's going make sure that person hopping out of that fancy car don't get touched, right? So we start looking at that offensive line, and we looking at a senior returning, 88 overall, and it's always good to have a redshirt sophomore behind him that's sitting on the 81, right? So to me, I think at left tackle they're pretty solid. The thing with this is this when I'm looking at my team, I'm like, yeah, this is great. Oh my God! But then you start looking at some of these offensive lines in the country, especially Alabama's, who returned 4 out of 5 starters. Oh my God. Anyway, back to Clemson. 88 left tackle, senior year, red shirt. He's tapped out. He won't really develop into anything else beside what he is. At left guard, they got 85 senior and Powell, right? Behind it, you got a junior and a freshman as red shirt. At center, 79. This is a problem for me. But if you got another lineman on the field that can play in his place, then you're going to do that, right? At right guard, they're playing a junior in Sewell, 81 overall, good strength. They got a redshirt freshman that's backing him up with 2 guys being shirted. And at right tackle, you're looking at a 91 overall, who Blake Miller is a star on this team, and he will be going to the league after this season. The question is the center position. Are they starting Linthicum, or are you putting one of these guards or tackles that's not playing right now, like a Reed? Do you put him on the field at center and see if he can hold it down for you
I'm
right
probably
now?
playing my backup like left guard, maybe backup
Because
left
Sadler
guard or
as
left
well, yeah,
tackle. Yeah.
Sadler is 84, 83 overall. You got some guys here. Like, you got depth on your offensive line, so you could escape that 79 overall at center. Or, because my thing is this, he's already a redshirt senior, unless you're just looking at the awareness, right? So I see 76 awareness, right? All right, cool. But then when you go look at the left guard, you're looking at 81 awareness sitting on the bench. Um, Probably could be the starting guard for this team. And then you go back to the left tackles, you got 78 awareness sitting on the bench. So in my opinion, I think that they can play center for you, right? Not the left tackle, because I'm not scared to keep the center on the field with a left tackle with 78 awareness. But the guard got 81 behind that, right? And then your center is sitting on 76 awareness as a senior. So I'm quite sure he probably made this adjustment already. I don't think we're gonna see Lit to come as the starting center for this team. So now that you saw Sewell at right guard, 81 overall, and then you also saw the pro at right tackle, and Blake Miller at right tackle. How do you feel about Clemson's line right now, man? They got the bouncers and the bodyguards.
Uh, Top heavy, but they definitely got them. They're super, super senior. I
When
mean,
it comes down to
upperclassmen.
playing Alabama, Georgia, Texas, when it comes down to playing them SEC teams in the playoffs, where you have to beat those guys, the Tennessees of the world, those type of guys, do you feel comfortable with this offensive line?
Uh, I would.
I do. I definitely do.
I was about to say I would.
I
We
definitely
can't
do.
get nobody fucking hurt though. I'd say that. That's what I meant. Like top heavy. We can't get nobody hurt. Got to really manage the wear and tear like well throughout big games and consistent because we can't afford for nobody to get hurt.
At all. Now, Clemson has a 91 overall defense, right? And you start off with the left end. Look, man, true junior TJ Parker is back on this football team, and he has another season. They don't have any really real upperclassmen here, right?
Almost
Everybody
finished.
juniors and down. You're looking at Hoffler, who's a junior. Then they brought in Fortney and Choice. And let's take a look at what they came in as. You got 4 star, star. This is where Hoodie winning at. All his players he brought in, whether they're 3 or 4 stars or fives, all have ability traits, right? And that's a win, right? I haven't seen a 4 star normal yet. Another 4 star star. So they got guys that while they're sitting and developing, they're gonna keep this team with a high overall because they're gonna develop. And you got to give credit to the strength and conditioning coaches because of that. But T.J. Parker is a man child. He's back in the building. I think he could be, one of those guys. Like, let me ask you: is T.J. Parker an NFL DN?
He's a 4-year
6'3",
NFL
two
DN, but
fifty five.
yes.
I think. I don't think.
Oh well, the 6'3" to you meant like that. I thought
No,
you
no,
meant
no,
like
no,
just
no, no.
scale.
I just mean skill. Like, let me ask you this: like, if he left this year, would it be a bad decision for him? I think he should stay to a senior year.
Yeah, I think he should stay to a senior year.
But he's
I
right on the
think he's
cuff
a
with a true
yeah,
89. A 90 that gets you in the third round for sure at the end. Once
yeah.
you touch that 90 mark, you definitely draftable.
I definitely think he just is a 4-year guy.
Yeah, I do too. But he came in with one of the guys, but or Denhoff is here in his redshirt senior year, 80 overall. Mayo's a sophomore, true sophomore, and Darren Mayo. He's a 79 overall. And then we redshirt and Pope and Balkison. Let's take a look at Pope. He comes in as a what star? As a 5 star impact player, speed rusher. They are fucking. I like it. Boy, how nice it must feel. Oh my god, looking at this shit. First time I looked at the impact and bulk consume. Max, you like what they have now and in the future. Now they are a little weak at the right end, as far as overall wise.
Yeah, I mean, I still like it though.
Yeah.
Mayo next year will be in the same position like Parker if he has a good jump, where he'll be the stronghold junior, and then you'll have some young guys underneath.
hmm and they can get away with it, right? Like
And
I
then in
think
portal, maybe you still, like I said, you still guys to be undecided. A portal guy here.
now look, they got one of the best D tackles in the game. Let's just
Trojans.
call it what it is.
Absolutely.
They got one of the best D tackles in the game in Peter Woods, and he returned for his junior year and 93 overall. He's a pro, first rounder for sure. Uh, but look, Burley, man, Burley's been a real draft guy that always come out in our real drafts. You got Story here. They got some guys here, bro. And again, we always taking a look at the freshmen and see what type of freshmen they brought in. And they brought in a 5 star elite and Sam Cookus, bro. Look, man, 6'3", 307 pounds from Chester, Virginia. And that's another thing about Clemson. They all over the map. They can get Florida, Texas. They're everywhere. They can recruit. They got a worldwide web of where they can actually recruit at, right? They're not stuck
Mackey's
in just
seventh round
South
pick
Carolina.
remaining on
But,
the
like,
total
man,
ranking.
here's my thing. When you bring in a 5 star elite at the end, your future's bright, bottom line. I mean, at D tackle, your future's bright. But um, Phillips looks like he's going to be the number 2 D tackle over here in his junior year. 85, true 85 overall. Burley going to play. Burley's been coming out of my league every year, too, in real draft with that 93 strength. But Peter Wood sitting at 99 strength max. Bro, 90 awareness, 92 play. Look, oh my God, bro. Like, this is he a top 10 talent draft wise? 93 block share, 81
Yeah,
tackle,
Peter Woods
98
definitely
tough.
going in the
Holy
first round,
shit.
and he'll probably try to leave this year. And again, depending on Hoodie,
He's top 10 though,
maybe
right?
not.
Top 10. He's a top 10 talent or top 5 in the draft. Oh my God.
I would say top 10.
Top 10?
Yeah, I would say top 10.
Man. Me personally, I think he's a top 5 player. The highest overall player on the game right now is a 97. He's sitting at 93 at D tackle, and then it's the position. You're not going to find this type of D tackle, too many of them. Like, I promise you, there's not a lot of D tackles in in college right now that's a 90 or above. There's only a selected few of them. We got a whole bunch of high 80 guys, but right now, Peter Woods, to me, is probably a top 5 pick. You said top 10?
Yeah, I say top 10 just because. Well, this year, if he comes out this year, Mm, yeah, I still say top 10. I don't know if a D tackle will go that early, fully based off like the game and the way that it's recognizing or valuing some of these ratings. I think he'll be top 10.
All right, the linebacker room. These guys lost some really, really good.
Hmm.
And Barrett, they lost Boo Carter or Barrett Carter, whatever his name was. Like they lost dogs, but they bring in Wood Dash. He's a senior. He's their highest overall. Jamal Anderson, the Dirty Bird Anderson, running back son. He's sitting here as a junior, 82 overall. They got a redshirt freshman in Lujan and then Soliday. Daryl Soliday, and let's see what he is coming in as a 4-star elite. This is a fucking win. This guy killed he killed that 2025 class. Oh my god. Especially when you bringing in ability, 4-star, 3-star, 5 stars, and they coming in star impact elite. Like that's crazy. My middle linebacker was Soliday. I changed his name though to Montrez Walker, but he came in as a Soliday as well. Um, all right, so I mean the linebacker room. That's going to be a question mark for me. The outside linebacker play. Let's go look at the right outside linebacker before I go to the middle. Yeah, right outside linebacker is going to be a question mark for me because they lost dogs. Right, they lost the
I was about
first
to say there's
round.
no real replacing Barrett Carter
Yeah,
for us,
nah,
so
nah. Now look, Sammy Brown is going to be lights out, and then look what they did with Quincy Law. Me personally, I wouldn't have redshirted his ass. He playing. But when you Clemson and you got this type of roster, I can
yeah.
understand it.
Sammy would keep him off the field, honestly. Sammy
Shit,
is
nah,
that good.
listen.
So
Imagine him and Sammy running around that middle linebacker. Go ahead and inside zone me to death if you want to. And you're looking at a 4-star elite. There's no way I'm redshirting him. But this ain't my football team. Although I wish it was. Holy shit. Yeah, man. So when it comes down to the linebacker play, I like that. Here's my thing. You got the super sophomore and Sammy Brown, 5-star number one linebacker, number one middle linebacker in the country, and during his 2024 year, coming out of high school. But anyway, uh, I think they need to answer some questions at right outside linebacker and left outside linebacker. I think that's going to be the question mark. And if you're a team playing this team to attack them, that's something you're going to make them show right away, right? Like you're going to make them show what type of outside linebackers you got. You got guys coming after the quarterback, or can these guys drop back and cover? Like what are you going to do with these outside linebackers? Because that's your weakest point of your defense thus far, and I'm attacking that, especially from the right outside linebacker and the right end position. I'm attacking that for sure. Like we want to make sure they can stop the run on that side, and they can take their one read step and then drop back and pass coverage and make plays. We're gonna find out. But then you got the cornerback room. There's still 5 stars in the building, right? You got Avion Terrell, 3-star corner impact. He's still here though, but you
Lineup
like his
having
height,
10
speed.
picks.
There you go. My left outside. Which one? What's his name? Look, Jaden Lucas was a 5-star. Let's see if they kept made him a 5-star. Nope, they made him a 4-star. Why they be dropping stars, bro? Like he was a 5-star coming out of high school. How about Lewis? Another 3-star impact. All right, so Max, you're looking at this cornerback room. His first 3 corners, 90 overall, 86 and 84. All of them got real legit speed. With Terrell having 90 man right now. I mean 74 from Lucas and 80 man. They can line up and play some man if they want to. Uh, but when you take a look down here, you got Kelly who's going to play sophomore. Look like he might have brought him in from the portal. Is he a portal guy, Match? You played this team in another league.
Kelly,
Masoon Kelly.
no, I think he was there. I think he might have got cut from my second year. Maybe it just didn't develop like that, but I think he was there.
Shit, well, he's 78 right now with 94 speed, 94 excel, 96 agility, 95 chain direct, and 79 man. He ain't getting cut.
Yes.
Not off of this motherfucking John. All right, so Gibson is a freshman, a sophomore. All right, so I don't know if this is a
Gibson's
JUCO
there.
nigga,
Nah,
Corian
Gibson's
Gibson.
there.
All right, this is a
Yeah,
guy that's
Gibson's
there
there.
already. Okay, so he sure to him. And then you go down to the redshirt freshman. This is the guy me and him was battling for, Clay Awasika. He stole him from me at the last hour, you motherfucker. He needs some work though. Like he's solid, but he needs some work. 5'10", 194 man coverage. He got jammer, so he definitely gonna better walk up and press you. And normal, that's the first normal. Obviously, I knew he was gonna come out either impact or normal because He was on my recruiting board. Colorado ain't getting these type of motherfuckers all the time. But we needed that win. That would have made us a top 15 team. We would have got him and the D tackle that Oregon stole from us, or the receiver that Tata stole from us. But I digress. Let's get back because we spent a lot of time on this comes to team because they're the championship team from this ACC conference. All right, so you look at the safety position. Barnes is back. They brought Keelan Griffin. Um, their top three are solid, good speed, and they got some shirts on guys that they're going to develop later on. You look at the strong safety position. Billings, 78 overall. Buchanan shirted as a true freshman, 78. You got Ricardo Jones, and then you got Noah Dixon are still here now. On the back end here, they're going to need some help there, but I think they're good enough at the free safety position to cover those strong safeties right now because Griffin can play strong as well. So overall, this team looks like a number 3 roster, right? They look like a team that are top 5 team in the country. My only question marks is what are they going to do outside linebacker? And he said one of them had 10 picks on the year. And it was
So Wood-ass, but
Wood-ass had
Wood is
10
the
picks.
senior.
Yeah, so what are they gonna do there, right? And is Kubnik the guy that can get them to a national title game? Is my only question when it comes down to Clemson. The next team that we're gonna talk about from the ACC is Florida State, right? Now, Florida State is still 7, and in my opinion, they shouldn't be in the top 10. Let's start there. Would you agree or disagree with that?
No, I absolutely would agree that Florida should not be in the top. Florida State should not be in the top 10.
I mean, they lost some big games last year, bro. Syracuse blew them the fuck out. Anyway, I don't think they belong in the top 10, and we don't really know who's proven. Like, Brock Glenn and Cromenhoek both played in the 2023 season when their quarterback broke his leg. And both of these guys was not good at all, right? And so we're looking at 2 years later, sophomore redshirt and a true sophomore. We're trying to figure out who's what. I'm thinking Hope will be the guy that they're going to start. Obvious reason, he does have a strong arm, and he has some physical traits as well, especially gold off platform. And then the speed alone is going to probably have him as your starting quarterback right now. But then you start looking at like what they lost and what they are. For them to be in the state of Florida, there's no way they should have not dominated the recruiting. Because you don't even have to lead the state of Florida when you got one of these Florida teams. Like you literally can just stay in Florida. We saw Hitter jump into the top 10 after having a 6-6 season and recruiting, and he never left the state of Florida. Right, so Roydell Williams is back to Alabama transfer. The Indiana transfer and Jalen Lucas is back as well. He got really good speed, got a nice little elusive power back in a sense. And then the freshman Cam Davis is back as well. I like the running back room. I have no problem with this running back room, man. He did a good job last year using all 3 of these backs. So, but that's not the question for me. The question for Florida State is what's the quarterback situation looking like? And not just that, what are the receiver like? You brought in Jaylen Brown. Hold up, though. Is this the Jaylen Brown that was on Alabama's roster? Yeah, this is a transfer, bro. He brought him in. He don't play for Florida. He didn't Florida State. Destin Hill does. Langston sitting here, sophomore, and then you got guys like my thing is, who's who? I mean, Lewayne McCoy. He's from Florida. He's a good player. Need him to. It's a lot of development situations right here. Like he looking like a Big 12 team, team to me. Big 12 conference team to me, so far. Like,
Yeah, I just don't see no recruits so far that's really like jaw dropping or like, oh my God.
I mean, they got a 90 defense. I'm not even staying on their offense. Hold on, let's just go scream through. Like 85 at left tackle, 82, 69 at center, 82, 83. Yeah, they going. I mean, I don't know how long, and then they open up right away with Alabama. So I mean, you got Patrick Payton. He's definitely an NFL DN over here at 93 overall. You're looking at Marvin Jones is 88. He's a senior. He could be a pro. D tackle wise, they got a dog in Darrell Jackson Jr. That's not act like he not a first rounder himself. And then not behind him, and Joshua Farmer is still a monster as well. But this team is like they're old, bro. Like you could tell he did nothing in the offseason. Like they literally ignored recruiting and all that shit. You can see it. You can see what the roster look like. Come on, man. Florida State has a 67 backup at right outside. I mean, left outside linebacker. Let's make it make sense. Sean Murphy, the Alabama transfer, still here. You got Graham Jr., Nicholson, Hickman, Collins. They need some help over here, bro.
Did he
Crier,
recruit
Mir River.
anybody?
Like, I don't see nothing that he did over here. Like, this is about to be effective now. I mean, Earl Little is back. Thomas is back. Lester is going to get the start this year. Cy Bates is another guy that's ready to go now, but only up to 79. They got,
Scumbags.
they got,
97th round pick rolling
man.
on the floor laughing. My lol cat over 10 picks. Woodez. No recruiting rolling on the floor laughing.
I mean, he ain't do
Junior
shit.
go to waste.
Like this ain't. I mean, you kind of killing Florida State, bro. Like it's my favorite team outside of Colorado. But god damn, bro. He got some speed at safety, but like, I mean, Shaheem Brown is a NFL player as well. I'm not. I mean, they might get blown out tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, they might get blown. Like this year Florida team 2025 on the video game and homecoming is going to mark my words. They will look exactly how the 2024 team looks in real life right now. Would you agree? Are we debating anything here, or we can move on?
No.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's get to
Shit.
Syracuse, the number 8 team in the ACC. That shit
Just
look
like in
terrible.
real life, Sue getting shitted on lol.
That shit crazy, and that's one of my teams. That's mine. Look, bro. I should have took Florida State instead of Colorado. Boy. Anyway, Syracuse. All right, so look, when it started with Syracuse, Kyle McCord left. And I think when we argued with Hoodie a little bit, when Hoodie said, nah, I don't think so, when it comes down to quarterback play, right? Kyle McCord is the reason why Syracuse made it to the playoffs. Would you agree or disagree?
Absolutely. Well,
That and the coaching.
I was about to say that in the coaching. Yeah.
Like, this was a situation where you had a Joe and the X and O's helped you out, right? Because the one thing you can't give Coach Falk is some speed at receiver and a quarterback that can make some plays. And you saw that yesterday in the Tennessee Syracuse game. The quarterback couldn't make plays. The good thing is this, though. They didn't start the better quarterback, right? He gave the junior to start, and he didn't start Peter Kingsbury. I think he's going to have a little bit more success with Kingsbury. Not only is he higher overall, good speed, nice throw power, and I think, being a redshirt freshman, this is a guy you could build around. Would you agree or disagree?
What star was he?
I don't mind. I'm not even worrying about the star. I'm worrying about what he looks like right now. This guy's a 3-star impact player.
I think he'll be solid.
hmm
Just redshirt freshman. Yeah, I think he'll be solid.
Especially, I mean, the only quarterback you brought in is Aiden Bryant from out of Tampa, Florida, and he's a 69 overall. Now, don't get it fucked up. And in my dummy league, I played a 68 overall quarterback, and he turned out to end up being a dog. But this guy is years away from seeing the field. So right now, you're relying on Davis, and you gave him the first start, and he did not show. So I think going forward, we're going to see Peter Kingsbury at quarterback, and this is going to be a situation where the roster overall 85, 86 offense, 85 defense, right? But the Jimmy and Joe's is a light years away from what we looked at when we saw Clemson. Would you agree there?
Oh, literally. Like, I mean, just between the starters and the bench players, there's a whole different like look.
But the coaching is up to par with Clemson.
Absolutely.
All right. And you can do a lot with a good coach, right? It don't take long to turn a program around. He did exactly that, turned Syracuse around because they were one of the 12 teams in the playoffs last year. So Fran Brown doing his job and King Falk as the offensive coordinator made things happen. But they lacked the explosive plays in their first week game, right? Allen is back. They got a super freshman at Curtis, Maryland. In my opinion, he should be not starting, but getting the ball a whole lot.
hmm
And he can catch the ball at the backfield. When you look at the receiver room, PHI, we call him PHIZ. He's back, the Philadelphia native. 99 speed, 97 excel, 90. They're not flying. They lost some really good speed, and I think they got some speed that's just not ready to see the field yet. And it would be stupid to force them on the field. Pina is back. He's their other speed guy. But this is a coach that has some weapons and some good speed, but not like you know what I'm trying to say. Like you got to make this team play for you. Like they're
Oh
not
yeah,
gonna,
you
you know
gotta.
what I
It's
mean?
gotta be all. This is all where the X's and O's is right here. PHI is really the only one that's just an on paper guy. Like you could throw him in most any program, he's gonna shine. Everybody else is definitely X's and O's.
Until you get to the tight
Maybe
end position,
Hendricks.
Gaddison is the truth, bro. I
Oh
seen him
yeah,
make a catch in
definitely.
that Tennessee game yesterday. That was like, ill. Only like you don't get that type of look in Madden. Like the way he went and got that football and the way he took it off the guy helmet and the shit. It's almost like Babe Bull would do did to Travis Hunter. Disrespectful. But Gaddison is a pro, right? And as long as you got a pro on your team, look, 50-50, that's why I just said he took something off somebody's helmet. That's gold. 50-50 gold. Mental, fan favorite goal, road dog goal, headstrong goal, short hands, recoup, and cutter. I mean, you got a tight end. This is the reason why if the quarterback play can be better, I can see, all right, are they good enough to do what they did last year and make it to the playoffs?
I think the coaching is, but I don't know if they'll get the on field, if they'll get the exact on field shit that they're looking for. The coaching is good enough, but might get some drops, missed assignments, missed tackles. Those go into extra drives, touchdowns, lost ball games. So
All right, the left tackle is a senior, left guard is a sophomore, Hornsby's a junior. Not man, Cruz backing up. Shit, body. I'll fuck around, play body at center right now. 80 overall, left right guard, right tackle, 83. Yeah, this is a team that he gonna have to outcoach 90% of the players he play, offensively wise, right now. And so you could get away with this last year with club what's his name? What's the quarterback? Ohio State old quarterback,
talking about McCord.
Kyle McCord. You can get away with him, right? Because he was a 5-star all world and had all types of abilities and stuff to make things happen. You can get away with it with that. But you saw week one what it looks like not having that type of quarterback. Now, if Syracuse can't find a way to get a run game going, bro, until one of them quarterbacks, and I think it's going to be Kingsbury, but until one of them quarterbacks catch up to being able to really run his offense the way they need it ran, it could be a long year for Syracuse. But we thought it would be a long year for Syracuse last year as well. And right now, they don't look like one of the better teams in the ACC right now. Actually, they're one of the better teams in the league offensively. Now, defensively, they lost some big time edge rushers uh, that left as well. They came in through the transfer portal, Texas A&M. But he got work to do, man. I mean, you're looking at. I mean, anytime. Like, here's the thing. You looking at his left ends right now. He's redshirting a 73 overall, and in a sense, he might not. He might have to play these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're redshirting a freshman and you starting another true freshman who's a 75 overall, and then you saw redshirt sophomore Rashad Perry. Like this is a team that needs to develop. Here's the good thing though, it's a young football team.
And then, it's Syracuse. Respectfully,
Hmm.
nobody's really expecting them to do much. And
Right.
they have time to not
Well, no,
do
no, no,
too
no,
too much.
no. The world is expecting them to do much. You ain't sitting number 8 in the country and made it to the.
Well, I'm not
Remember,
saying that. I meant
remember,
in general.
Syracuse
Like
gave a
as far
foot.
as
I'm not saying they would have beat Alabama, but he didn't go out there and lose. He didn't play them. Remember that. They
I'm
went
not
into
even saying
Ohio
like that.
State
I'm just saying like the
last year and
program.
won that ball game, being down by like 20 or some shit. Came back and won that ball game. That Clemson team had them 8 up by 8. Clemson was up by 8. Syracuse marching with the ball with 2 minutes to go. Remember, that's the team that we saw last year. But you know how I go. New coach come in that year before things settle in. Everybody playing on a high right now. I'm looking at a roster that's settled in now. Now he
Hmm.
has to start to identify his identity. What are you going to be, right? So everything that's on the field, like this is a situation in Syracuse where you're going to have to play guys because you have to play them and not because you want to play them. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
Process of elimination, though, Max. That quarterback that he started, the junior, went out there and lost and got their asses kicked by Syracuse, bro. By Tennessee. I don't think that quarterback will see the field ever again. I think Kingsbury will be the new starting quarterback for the Syracuse Orange Men going forward until they, either recruit a guy or get a guy out of the portal. Right now, it's going to be the Kingsbury show. Um, while they in development stage. Only good thing I like about what I'm seeing on this roster is a lot of young guys because it's not too much of a difference between what's young and what's veterans on this roster. They all damn near in the same tier when it comes down to overall. But like for example, right here, you looking at Jabati, right? Jabati is a senior, 82 overall, right? But then you coming down here, how much? I mean, you got Robertson, who's a redshirt freshman, 75. Look, Johns, he's getting redshirted. He's a 75. And you start looking at awareness, right? Robertson at 80 already. Like, you got guys that can develop on this roster. But Hastings, I'm not even playing him at defense end. He going to D tackle, which I know he did already. Like, it's things that he can do over here. You start looking at the D tackle position. Now you start to say, all right, well, we got Nix, who I've redshirted. Like, he's redshirting guys. And this is all right. This is a coach that's trying to win ball games off of coaching, but understands that it's a marathon, not a race, right? Because he don't have the luxury to be able to like turn this program around in one season because he got all 5 stars and 4 stars to come in the program. Well, they got to build their prestige up, which they did. They had a 4-star now. Right? They're getting respect around the country, but anybody in the country watching this number 8 Syracuse team is not looking at them as the number 8 team in the country. Are you?
No, I know that they're a ranked team. They're good, but I think eight's just a lot to
Well, they're
demand out of
not.
year
They're
two
not going to fall out of the top 25 ranking off that
at
loss,
all.
but
Yeah,
it's going to drop them some, right? And I think them being under the radar instead of them sitting at 8 and us knowing who the coach is and everybody being like, because if you're not a hater, then you appreciated what he did last year with this team. There's no way you can't. Like, damn, he took Syracuse, like one of our top Madden coaches. I'm not going to call him the top college coach because we all playing it for the first time in years. But one of the guys that are our top Madden guys took a team that's just not a real good team, and he made it to the playoffs with that football team. And not only did he make it to the playoffs, he went on the road, beat Ohio State. Now I get it. Most of y'all are gonna say, well, it's because Nano had Ohio State. He had to go beat Ohio State because he didn't just beat them because it was Nano. And I would say this, even though Nano, some of y'all look at him like he got Ohio State, he ain't that good, da da da, right? He still played teams to the wire with that type of team, right? But to go into Ohio State, and they had the #1 stadium too when he was in that ball game, and not be able to do shit, no adjustments, no nothing, and you're down 20 and still win the ball game. Impressive, right? Because again, he didn't lose to Alabama. Remember that, right? Now, do I think he would have been able to take the Syracuse team at a neutral field and beat Alabama? I don't know. I think no, especially how he was playing last year. No, but I didn't expect him to even get in the playoffs with this team, or even beat Ohio State, or beat Florida State by fucking 60, or only lose by 8 to Clemson. Right? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like I didn't expect a lot of stuff that I saw. Like, and winning to Tennessee and took that game can down to the wire. He lost that game by like a score, 28-20 or some shit like that. Like, I didn't expect that. But a lot of those guys that helped him do that last year aren't on his roster right now, Max.
that's what I was about to say. Yeah, a lot of those guys is gone. Not saying that that's the reason why, but yeah, like you said, helped him do that.
So you start looking at this team, right, and you start to think, like, I know King Joseph Edwards is a 4-star in real life. I know King Joseph Edwards ain't a linebacker. He came out of Buford, Georgia, and he's an edge rusher. He's a defensive end, and he knows that, so he got him there. Now you got a guy that goes from a 68 as an outside linebacker to almost an 80 at defensive end, and then you got a guy with 84 awareness coming off the edge now, who's going to be 83 speed with 90 acceleration, right, coming off the edge, and he's a redshirt freshman. So you got, like, you when you look at Syracuse, you can't look at Syracuse for the right now, right? The right now is what he did last year. The right now is why he's 8 in the country is what he did last year. But if you look at this team, you gotta have future shades on, right? You gotta see what it's gonna look like in the future. This is a program that, he's a coach that's gonna need that third year and fourth year to really determine what this team can actually become. In my opinion, start looking at the linebacker level. Like, there's really no need to even still sit on this roster. I'll just sum up Syracuse with this. They already seen what Braden Davis can do, and he shit the bed. I think, my heart of hearts, I think Peter Kingsbury is the better quarterback. He's already 5 points better than the guy. I think he's the better quarterback, and I do think this is the guy. Now, he has no physical or mental traits at this point right now, but he's a redshirt freshman. He's the guy you can grow with and get into a situation by the time he's a junior or senior like McCord was. Now you got pieces around him, and you built this football team up, and you have the quarterback. I think, that's the realistic picture for Syracuse. But knowing that coach, he not hearing none of that. He think he going to the playoffs this year and got a shot to win something with this football team. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, he's definitely not hearing nothing else other than.
All right, so we leave Syracuse and we go to the number 12 ranked team in the country, and the fourth best team in the conference. In my opinion, I think they definitely not the fourth best team in the conference, and I'll give you my overall view of the ACC in a second. But let's go to the number 12 team in the country right now. Well, the Citadel transfer is gone. Every quarterback on this roster is an underclassman. You see 3 shirts on Takeoff, Belly, and Freeman. And Belly is from uh, Miami, right? He played with that kid
Hmm.
that's at Ohio State, right?
Jeremiah Smith.
hmm All right. So you got Mike Cook, let him cook, or is it going to be Felipe Rivers? Everybody remember who Philip Rivers was and where he played his college ball at. If you don't, I'm showing you now. He wore number 17, and he has his mixed nephew as the quarterback right now, and I think he's the starting quarterback. I watched the practice, I watched what they did, I watched them go through camp, and Rivers just seems to be the guy that can make the plays right now. Here's a good thing about that. Bad thing about that. The good thing is you got a guy that's going to grow with your program, and people, if he determine how Rivers play, is going to show you. You're going to tell what the high school kids feel about him if they come into your school or they showing you interest at the receiver position, running back, and the tight end position. It's going to tell you what Rivers gives you this year. Simple as that. But the tools is there, man. I mean, Scrambler, 89, like, you got a guy that can run your offense now. You can get into some things that you wasn't able to get into with the other guy. And the reason why Belly doesn't play yet is because he didn't develop yet at all. He really had no development. And then he's a statue. And some guys feel like the pocket passer quarterback is not really it in college football. So you need a guy that can move around, that's mobile, all that. So, Max, talk to me a little bit before we move on to the rest of your roster about your starter right now, because Cook has the higher overall by 1 point, but Rivers seems to be the guy that's getting the start for game 1 at least.
Uh, just command. When it comes down to having all these young quarterbacks, and you really don't have a obvious front runner. Not all of them can obviously get shirted either. So we just looked at upside and looked to potentially might be able to be better for us later. I think we'll get the most out of Cook and Rivers now. Had them kind of square off in a QB1 battle, so to speak. Just felt more confident with Rivers' control, his comfortability, and his confidence in the offense. Definitely both similar style quarterbacks as far as build and archetype, but I would say they play definitely a little bit different as how they distribute the football and how they actually think about the game. Um,
Because Takeoff is sitting down here with a red shirt, he was actually a prize gem of your quarterback room. And late, you came across 2 scramblers that end up being like golden gems for you. And because he's got the shirt on him right now, I can understand why whoever doesn't start between these two is not getting the shirt. I understand that now. Me personally, one of them getting shirt. Whoever ain't starting getting shirt, and I'm taking that shirt off of Belly, because let's just call it what it is. As much as Belly is a really good quarterback, I saw it with my own eyes when he came in the game. What he can do. He's just not your style of quarterback. You just not comfortable with a guy that really don't have the speed to get around and get up out of shit. He shuts down some of your offense. So I would take the shirt off of him and put it on whatever one of these two ain't getting a start. But my sources told me Rivers is the starting quarterback as of right now for the North Carolina State Wolfpacks. All right, and the run game, Hollywood Smothers is up to 82, Raphael 82, but you got Elijah Metcalf 80 overall, good speed, and then you didn't put a tag on Bryce Ford, the power back. Why?
I just think it's time to introduce that era into NC State football. Came out 75, 4-star from the hood. So the other people watched them probably in high school, maybe a couple All-Americans, whatever the case be. I just think when you got a guy that's of that stature, and we're trying to compete with the Clemsons and the XYZs of our conference first, I think he's just kind of the guy that is going to cement the style of running that we're going to introduce, and he's definitely going to be somebody. I think as the season goes on, he's just going to continue to get better. So I'd rather just go ahead and get him going now. That way, the running back room is really just him and Smothers essentially next year to start it off as 1-2 punch. Um, for whichever quarterback takes the helm, he'll know that he has a solid two running backs that have experience on the field.
I like it, but I also like Hollywood. Hollywood transferred out of Oklahoma and came back down. I'm not gonna say home because I think he's more mainly from Virginia. Am I wrong?
Uh, he could be, but that would
I
be
think I know
closer
he.
for
I
North
know he.
Carolina if he's from
Yeah, that's what
Virginia.
I'm saying. I know he played in that area, so he came back home um, from the portal. And that's a guy you counting on. But I saw your practice. I came there because we was doing a segment on your football team, and I came to practice. And when that kid got the football, that freshman you got,
hmm
the first guy never brought him down.
Yeah, he runs very angrily, I must say. I think he just doesn't like being tackled with the first, tackle. Um, we've preached
Would you get off my joystick? God
Understand.
damn.
ball security multiple times for him. Just as he's gonna get those real carries in game. But he just really doesn't like to go down off the first initial thing. He likes to make even a 2 or 3 yard gain kind of feel felt by the defense.
North Carolina State was ranked number 25 to start the season off last year. You got them up to 12 right now. Made the
hmm
playoffs last year. Um, you finished with a top what class?
Top 15. I finished at like 14 or 13
At
after
one
being
point,
at
at one
8 for
point you was
most
like
of the
at 8 or
season.
9, right?
Yeah, I was at 8 for most of the season. Yeah, it was
My
at
bad,
8
my
most of the
dog.
season and finished. No, you're straight. 8 most of the season, finished like 14 at the end of it.
All right, so you feel comfortable about the class you brought in, right?
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely think we laddered up well. We got some guys that's playable now, and we got some guys where we kind of know what we're looking for out
I
of
would
them.
say this: thank God games get played on the field and not uh, on paper, right? Because so far I haven't seen one team in this division that can fuck with Clemson on paper
Clemson.
at all, right? But you can't take coaching out of it, right? And you got Hoodie, who has a really good football team, and he's a good coach. And we have North Carolina State, who has a good coach. And we have Syracuse, who has a good coach. But they don't have the Jimmy and Joes of a Clemson. And I'm still comfortable with saying Clemson going to win this division. There's no way he shouldn't. But if there's anybody that can steal it, I think you can steal it more than Falk can right now, because I'm looking at you, just what I just saw on your roster. It looks a little. See, the problem is this, and Hoodie gonna say, "Nah, you going without a quarterback." But like so far, what I've seen right now, what I'm seeing on the teams that we show right now, they don't have a secure quarterback. Right? If you got a quarterback,
hmm
you got a chance. Nobody outside of Clemson in this division so far has shown a quarterback that's proven right now that for a fact going to be that guy.
hmm
Right or wrong?
Right.
So I'm standing on that. Now you get to the wide receiver room. Concepcion is one of the best receivers in the country. Let's just call it what it is. This guy, whenever he's ready to come out, he's a first rounder in my opinion. Noah Rogers, that old Ohio State player, I think he gives you a 1-2 punch. My question to you is: you got some speed, and you brought in some guys via high school, and Altoye. I think you really are big on him, but you put the shirt on him, so he's shutting it down. He's going to be on practice squad all year. Is that a size thing? Is that a guy you want to get bigger, physical, or like what was it? He didn't get there in the spring, so is that the reason why he's redshirted? He got there in the summertime and not the spring. He played
I
basketball.
mean, yeah, I was about to say, I think he just got there a little late. Florida recruits, you don't know. He wanted to spend his time before coming up to North Kakalaki, so he really ain't tripped. Said goodbyes to his boys, Miami. Said his goodbyes to the boys out there in Gators and X, Y's and Z's. So he did his little 1-2, but I just think he's not mentally. I don't think he's mentally ready to get on the field and really absorb a college game and know how to put that athleticism and star-studded ability he has into like a real game and keep it consistent and going to the point where like it will hinder from his growth. So I mean, natural flow of things. He's the only receiver we got last year. So
So
you
in
kind of like,
Raleigh, North Carolina, is there an offense in Raleigh, North Carolina that can make it to the 12-team playoffs again?
oh yeah, I mean I think so. I don't feel like McCall was just like how Hoodie feels in a sense. McCall was a high rated overall quarterback. I felt like McCall wasn't that cool. I had to come in and have Bailey bail us out several times in different games because McCall just would do shit that was just inadequate for a senior. Um, but I think in what we don't have last year with McCall, we have much more weapons to kind of spread across the damage this year. So once I find that quarterback, after the first couple of first 3 or 4 weeks, I think we'll definitely be in the playoffs. We might be at 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe one of those again. We came in as 10 last year. So I think, we'll finish in the back end per se of the playoffs, but I do think we'll definitely be in the playoffs.
I think you got a solid offensive line outside of the center position. You got to figure out there, but everything else is solid, especially the interior, left and right guards. I
hmm
like the offensive line. Now, defensively, there's not a left end on this team older than a redshirt sophomore. Growing pains there right now,
growing
or
pains and
or Zunbar. I mean Zudnar or Price can play either or for you right now, right?
it's kind of going to be a rotation over there to figure out who's going to claim that left end spot. We're going to
Gotcha.
start off with Shirley, but because of the youth, we got sophomore, redshirt sophomore, a freshman on that side, and then uh, two freshmen, a redshirt freshman over here. It's going to be a little rotation. Everyone's going to get their fair share, really, because the only one that we're for certain about is Price right now. We know what we're getting back with our senior Price, so he'll come in for the bigger games, bigger drives, bigger plays, third down, close the game, whatever the case be. But um, we're looking to find out who's really going to be next on that D line at the end position to build off of them for the next couple recruits coming in.
All right, so you had a
Woodez
linebacker
is
that played
taking
really
Brady
well,
by 34.
right? You had a linebacker that played really well for you in Bonner, and he's up to a 91 right now as a redshirt sophomore. Do you feel like this defense is going to be built around him?
Yeah, this is for sure the new field general.
You got really good speed at middle linebacker over here. Now the funny thing is this guy. I mean, for him to be 195 pounds, I asked you this last night, and he's a true linebacker. So for anybody think he moved him there, no, no, he's a true linebacker. Go look it up. Here's the other thing. You said he was stout in the run game for you last year.
Yeah, he doesn't play light on his ass. Out
Because I'm
last
sending
year,
guards at him and I'm running right at your fucking right down to your fucking throat to make sure he can do
last
that. Bro.
year, 3-4 on the outside. That's where he kind of shined. Honestly, that's what made me know that he was gonna be a dog.
Here's my
Outside
other
on the three,
question. He'll never make it to the NFL at 195 pounds at linebacker. They'll be moving him to strong safety for
strong
sure.
safety. Absolutely, positively. Yeah.
All right. All right,
for
so
sure.
now when you look at, I mean, again, your linebacker room, Sean Brown, he's a senior, solid overall. You got guys that shirted behind him, which is smart. What I'm seeing, just looking at your red shirts, I'm seeing that you're playing for right now, but really for the future.
Yeah, we're gonna use the guys this year. Still develop the scheme because when we get the Johns and the Does and the Who's, it's just about reuse, refill, recycle. Like my ladder effect is slowly building, and we even had some guys that played last year that had to that I knew I was gonna get the opportunity to redshirt this year. So I think really we still putting together that that scheme that we're looking for fully offensively and defensively and building those guys. Next year we should be fully loaded, I feel like.
So in the secondary, you're not going to wow too many people with overall, but when you look at secondaries and you see the speed, like this game all about speed, bro. And can you cover speed? Simple as that, right? Not too many guys. I mean, again, the Tennessee Syracuse game, that was the defensive problem that Syracuse had. Team speed just didn't show up at all. Like when I say guys was just running right by you on a bubble, anything. It wasn't even like deep bombs and nothing like that. It was just throw this bubble to him and my guy's so much faster than your team. You saw that in the Alabama Penn State game. You saw it. Speed kills. That's just it's been that way since the video game came out. It's been that way in real life. Like you can strategize things and everybody can do some good game planning and all that, but speed is speed. Um, and I will say this: your secondary has speed though. Like it ain't like lights out looking at a goddamn speed, but you got speed where they can play their zones and some man if you need them to. Um, I think I mean at number 12, I think y'all deserve to be at number 12 because of what y'all did last year. But again, it comes down to like what's going to happen at the quarterback position. How much do you feature your running back in your run game? And is there a guy on your roster that can get the ball to that guy that's a first rounder in Concepcion?
Concepcion, yeah.
Simple as that, right? And then getting stops, right? So all of it can be true. Can you get the stops you need to better win the games you need to win?
I'll say
That comes
this:
down
we
to what it
have
comes
no
down.
we have no crazy defensive player. So all the mentality last year was always team ball, and I think it was showed. Had a lot of people splitting sacks, had a lot of split interceptions. We knew who the front runners was, but team ball was necessary for it because rotation was needed because we couldn't use those top guys every play of every down of every game. So I would say that the offense this year, no seniors, so you expect to see obviously Concepcion touching the ball a lot early and often, and then giving Smothers his opportunity to, show that he can be the next running back for the next 2 or 1 year, yeah, 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So I think obviously it starts off small for NC State type of school. We start off winning our people within the state and the surrounding states, Virginia, North Carolina. We win those recruits, we win the division, we fight for the conference, and then we kind of rinse and repeat until we achieve all three and put ourselves where we need to be.
All right, so the team in Dallas uh, came back this season and ranked number 17. They won their bowl game last year as well. And here's again. So Hoodie, hopefully you're still watching. I'm always had this conversation with you, and I'm always going to say uh, I agree to disagree, or sometimes I agree, and sometimes I don't always stand on what I'm saying because sometimes somebody can show me, nah, it is a little different. But SMU is ranked number 17 for one reason, Max. What's that reason?
Definitely this quarterback.
Preston Stone is the reason why this team is ranked number 17 in the country right now. They came back number 17. This team is like Florida Gators, right? They came back ranked after going 500. Like, that's what happened. Well, when you start to look at the roster, you understand what I'm saying right now. But Preston Stone is a man child. Him and Shador had battles from high school. They didn't get to really see each other in college, but this is the one guy that beat Shador's high school team. Anyway, gold, sleight of hand, gold, step up, gold, resistance, dot, silver. He's a quarterback, 90 overall. He's a guy. He have a good year. He's a first rounder, right? Depending on what's going on. There ain't too many quarterbacks that came back in the country, and not just that came back in the country. Ain't too many quarterbacks that came back that's a 90 or above in the country right now, and he's one of them. So Preston Stone, I think the guys that are the guys that are responsible for ranking the top 25. I think they're comfortable with this quarterback. And to be able to do that, you have to have something, right? L.J. Johnson Jr. is back in the backfield, 84 overall, elusive. But then you got some good speed, right? Thomas Polk and Yarborough. You got some guys which you could deal with and develop. Simple as that. And it is what it is there. At the receiver position, you're looking at Jordan Hudson, who transferred from TCU a couple of years ago. He left after the 2023 season. Remember, he
The
had 7
inside of
touchdowns.
my dog
I got you.
RQQROE.
I seen the text, bro. But Jordan Hudson, he's back right in his senior year. You're looking at some good speed with Kozart and Lavender. Solid speed right now. And then you got some guys that's going to develop, whether they either make this roster or they don't. I went after this kid. He ended up getting him to see what he looked like. And this is the reason why I didn't go after him. I saw he had 84 speed as a physical receiver. And he's not big enough to get moved to tight end either, so that sucks. All right, so there's a lot of slow receivers down here. Anyway, Hudson, Kozart, and Lavender. I'm not going to stay too long. I'm just going to go to their roster profiles. Maryland at tight end, 87 overall. All right, because I wanted to know why would they rank this team, and they got 84 overall offense and defense and overall. Left tackle 85, backup 81, 80 at left guard. 73 at center, 85 at right guard, so they can block. 80 at right tackle, so they okay on the offensive line. That helps them out there. You start looking at defense. Samuels 83, their backup to 81. Really good speed at I bar. Oh my God, 85 speed, 92 excel. He's flying. At right end, 79, 76. Junior and a true freshman. You're looking at D tackles. Morrison at 79. They need help here. If they can't stop the inside running, they're going to be in problem. Linebackers 81 and Robertson. A little bit middle linebackers, and not really they're not gonna kill you with speed at the linebacker position, but they got some good guys there. But cornerback Davis Robinson, 87 overall, 97 speed, 98 excel, 87 man dog, 84 here, 81, 80. So they can go 4 deep at the cornerback position. And what the safety room look like? 81 overall senior, 76 in a redshirt freshman, and then you're looking at strong safety. You're looking at 83 senior, and a sophomore was 80. And this is why this team is ranked 17, because Preston Stone is their quarterback. If you got a quarterback, you got a what, fellas? You got a chance. I'm trying to tell you. Now, Hoodie gonna say to me, she ain't got no goddamn chance. I don't know. Locked in full season. You got the guy that can throw the ball. I'll tell you one thing, he ain't gonna be shook at the quarterback position. You ain't gonna better just throw him off his game at all. Not with those abilities. Resistance is a big goal ability. That shit shuts some shit down on the road. Let's go. All right, man. Now, number 21 ranked team in this conference is Miami. And let's go look at what Coach McCoy got going on over there. I'll tell you one thing. For who he is identity-wise, man, did he not win in the portal? First of all, who's going to replace Cam Ward? If you got a quarterback, you got a chance. And right now, we don't know who the starting quarterback is for this football team. But if you got a quarterback, you got a chance. I don't see it yet over here. But they got this. How the hell you bring C.J. Baxter back to Florida? After what he did for Texas, this had to hurt Coach Jimbo. Oh, my God. But he came home, and he's on his roster. And now you got 5 running backs that, man, I don't even know how they all going to sit in this room like this. This is ridiculous. This shit's crazy. And, identity is identity. You are who you are. Guys are who they are, period. Zebras don't change their stripe, nor do humans. And at the core of who he is, he runs the football. And look what happened over there. They got guys that are game changers at the running back position. His running back room look like some guy's receiver room right now. You got one of the fastest running backs in the league sitting here as a sophomore with a red shirt on him. Then you're looking at, elusive here, power back with good speed, 87 overall. It's going to run your life over. Baxter, look at that, man. And then Martinez is one of the best, if not remaining backs on the game. You're looking at 35 carries to 40 carries a game, especially without a quarterback right now. Now, if you got Cam Ward on this team, you got to throw the ball around the park with that kid. But there's no more Cam Ward here. If you play in Miami, listen, before I go to their receiving room, let's just start here. Running backs, 6 of them that can play, and 6 of them that can go somewhere else and play around the country. Now, let's go right to their offensive line. Now you're starting to see what I'm talking about. 90 up front. This is different. I mean, Okalonga, he need to come over to Colorado where his brother at. He ain't playing for y'all. Come on, man. Hit the portal next year. Get the fuck up out of there. Look, because their left tackle is 85 overall. Their backup under him is 83, and he got 95 strength. So I'm confused on. I don't care if this guy's 82. He might not see the field, but he got 97 strength, so he will. Look at this shit. I mean, center 84 overall, right guard 88 overall, right tackle 89 overall. All right, so Miami might got one of the best top. They might have a top 5 offensive line right now, and they definitely probably got the best running back room in the country. And they ain't even no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They have the best running back room in the country and a top 5 offensive line, in my opinion, so far. Now I didn't look at all the SEC teams yet, but right now, for what I'm seeing right now, they got a top 5 offensive line. If Coach McCoy come out here and be out here throwing the ball 30 times a game, like they need to fire the fuck out of him. I'm lining up and I'm playing smash mouth football, and I'm gonna make you stop me. You want to stop me. You have to stop me because I'm gonna run it and run it some more, and then I'm gonna use that speed out the backfield to hit you on quick throws and tear your ass up. No homo, no diddy, no bell. Real talk. So, man, I think Miami 89 across the board. Miami has an opportunity to win the ACC this year, except for that they don't have a quarterback. And I think that's going to come and hurt them. I think not having a quarterback and somebody somewhere with some team is going to force you to have to throw the ball because the run game ain't going to get 6 yards to carry, 7 yards to pop. In that game, that particular game, in that game, your quarterback going to have to show us who he is, which will take me back to if I'm a receiver over here, we're like, hold up, man. Horton's is back, Trader's back, Joseph's back. You got Hodges here, Redding, McCormick. You got some guys, right? But then you asking yourself, who's going to get us the ball? Some of these guys are looking for their NFL life is put in the hands of this whoever quarterback starting over here right now. Some of these guys are young enough to say, we don't like the quarterback position. We transferring the fuck about here. Some of them are young enough to do that. But they got a young quarterback that's going to have to start, and they got some young receivers as well. They have to put it together and figure it out. But if I'm over here, I know if I'm the wide receivers coach, I'm training my wide receivers to better block.
Face with tears of joy, reaching out
Ha!
to players
I already tampered, right? It ain't tampering. His brother talked to him every day. That's not tampering, bro. When the brother of the brother can have access to him, they ain't tampering. I ain't gotta say shit. The brother gonna tell him, come on over here, man. You a backup at Miami. If you don't think that kid won't be on Colorado's roster next year in real life, you crazy. You crazy. Because the fucked up part about it was if he would have transferred this year with his brother, he'd have been a starter. The U is back, though. But I don't know how back they are without a quarterback. Like, I don't understand why they didn't, like, Coach McCoy didn't attack quarterback. Like, you bring a quarterback in, and it's over with. Like, you can't lose a Cam Ward and not have a 5-star, 4-star, or Jim 3-star. And we see they all over guys' rosters this year. 3 stars, that's really good quarterbacks. Like, but you had to bring a guy in, man. I don't see it. Maybe I skipped over it too fast. But I don't see it because you look at speed and no throw power, right? Maybe Glenn Cummings, maybe him. Maybe this is the quarterback. I kind of skipped over him. 4-star, normal. I mean,
I'm back.
he might even be the starter. My thing is this: unless you just worrying about Anderson Stopower, I'm looking at a quarterback that literally is a higher wear quarterback already, and he's a 75 degree an hour up right now. He's only 2 points under Anderson. I might be Cummins got to be in the mix, right? Please go change this guy's name. I was not screaming that all year, Glenn Cummins. Oh my God! But maybe this is the guy that you invest in right now until you get a better one. Like you always recruit the positions you have on your team. You recruit better, right? You tell them my job is to replace you. Your job is not to be replaced. Well, right now, Glenn is we want to call him Glenn Nah, I can't call him Cum either. Goddamn, no Diddy. We just gonna call him Glenn C. Oh my God. Yeah, Glenn C. Or is it Anderson, the starting quarterback over here? Or how about Emory Williams? He played well for Van Dyke, dumbass. Uh, the year he had them have barely over 500. He came in and did really good as a freshman. So maybe it's him. All I know, they need to find a quarterback over here. Now, defensively, I am not concerned about Miami at all, right? They got, if not the best defensive end in the country. Well, there's a guy out there in Pennsylvania that said has something to say about that. But Ruben Bank Jr. is a freaking monster, and he's a first-round talent for sure. Like, it's like, and then look, Armando Blunt, 4-star. Like, they got guys. Like, so it's not like, this my thing. Run the football and let your defense play defense. Like, listen, if you could put long running drives together and get points on the board, your defense is going to always have rest, always going to better go out there and dominate. Lightfoot, 84, Carmichael, 80. Like, they have dudes over here. So let's keep looking. You look at the D tackles. Moten is still in the building right now. He's the 80 overall, but I'm not concerned about none of this. Like, I'm cool with all of this. Uh, Outside linebacker. Look at Harris, only 72, but good speed. Now let's take a look at Breeston, Otterman, and you're looking at Bryan as well, Malik Bryan. You got guys, right? Like, they're not gonna kill you with speed and all that until you start looking at these guys. And this is where you win at right here. Aguirre Jr. is back and Vicente is back. Both of them really good speed, both of them really good linebackers, right? And then you also got a sophomore, Hugh Benson, who Mike can see the field right now, except for that 57 awareness. Now, at the cornerback position, Hill is back. You got Belfort back. You got Cotton in the building, right? Stafford is here. Like, you got 80s. So you got 4 legit corners that can go all the way out to your dime formations and be good. And then your safety room is solid too. Patterson, you got Aquan Patterson back in his true sophomore year. You got good speed at safety. And then that strong safety, we close out with Kamari Wilson, who we got from UCLA out of the transfer portal. Damn, I know that, and I ain't even looked, and I know it because I know all these fucking players all the time. Yes, sir. And Jaden Harris as well. So Miami, you're not looking at a Clemson roster only because they don't have a quarterback. But if there's a team in this conference that should better compete with Clemson and actually win a division as well, like Miami should be favored by some experts to win the ACC this year. But again, Hoodie, you got a quarterback, you got a chance. So we got to find out if they got a quarterback or not. But when you got 6 starting running backs on your roster, there's no way in hell you shouldn't be running the ball anywhere between 30 to 40 times a game with one of the best offensive lines in the country. I mean, I don't think I said anything that don't matter right now. All right, Max, your overview. I'm asking you a question that's going to be hard for you to answer because you're in this conference. But who's in the ACC championship game at the end of 2025?
Either Clemson and Notre Dame or Clemson and NC State. Clemson Notre Dame was last year,
And I
but
apologize because I skipped right over Notre Dame, sitting at 4 right now. But again, Notre Dame in the same boat they was in last year. No quarterback.
yeah, but the rest of his team, I'm pretty sure compares to Clemson's roster.
Yep. No quarterback. Yeah, because they 90s across the board. It's Notre
Yeah,
Dame, right? So, but they still, I don't care. If you don't got a quarterback,
but I
your
meant like
chances
out of
are
all
slim.
the rest of us, think about it, last one. I'm saying Clemson, and the rest of us have no quarterback, so it's either Clemson and NC State or Clemson and Notre Dame.
Hmm.
Either way about it, we don't have a true quarterback yet.
But here's
Um,
the thing. We don't know if they don't got a quarterback yet, though, but they got a young quarterback because there's no way they're not starting Quinn Barr. No way they're not starting Quinn Barr. 3-star normal, right? But he comes in with some really good attributes on him, right? 96 throw power, 95 acceleration, 87 speed. So he's going better, open that offense up a little bit. And it's not, you ain't got to change too much of nothing because Riley Quinn was a dual threat quarterback. You got a guy that's just a better dual threat quarterback with a stronger arm as well. So I don't think Angeli starting. I don't think CJ Carr starting. I think it's going to be Quinn Barr starting. Flat out starting on game 1. I could promise you that. Especially with that speed. That's my opinion. But at running back, Love is back, Price is back, Payne. You got guys, right? And you still got some red shirt guys, and then you have Maurice Vick sitting down here with sidestepping 360. So you got a strong run game. This is what you was talking about, right? Because Young is here too. Kedra and Young ain't go nowhere.
I
Like
mean,
they
yeah,
got
but
guys.
look at this running back room.
God damn. Hold up though. I just got finished talking about Miami running back room, but shit, it's still Miami still got the best running back room I ever seen. But I mean, they got everything you need over there. Speed, size, all that shit. Oh my God. Yeah, they want to run the ball and run it down your throat. No Diddy, no Bell. All right, so at the receiver position, Gilbert, 94-93, redshirt freshman. You got Great House in his junior year, 6'1", 205. You got Cam Williams is back as a true redshirt freshman. But then they bring in Demir Briggs, the freshman, right? And when you take a look at him, what is he, a 4-star, 5-star, 4-star, elite? That's a win for Notre Dame, bro. Right there, you bring in that type of receiver, that's a win. And right behind him, you got Johns as well, Skylar Johns. This might be a win. He's impact,
We were
deep threat
competing for one
for,
of these. We
yes,
competed for
sir.
one of these receivers. I forget which one.
That's Briggs, Simmons, and Faison. They got some guys that's going to grow
I
up with
want to
that
say it was
quarterback. Oh, my
Briggs.
God.
I want to say it was Briggs that we were competing for.
Bro, just Briggs, Simmons, and Johns alone is going to be a problem when that quarterback get up to par. When Gwen get up to par, this receiver room is all coming back. Like everybody is all like. Here's the thing: Notre Dame been a 90 overall roster, and you see one junior on this team as a receiver. Everybody freshmen or sophomores. Like if you talking about a team that can win right now and set up for the future, this is what it looks like. Again, blue blood program. This is what it looks like. A tight end position, senior and Ray Don. We got Brammer, Flanagan. They brought in a true freshman. Look at this guy. 85 speed, 87 excel. What is he? 4-star elite. Notre Dame did some big things in the recruiting stages. Oh my God. All right, offensive line, 86, 80 backup, 86. 87. Wait, shit. Is this line better than Miami's line? 91, 82. Yeah, man. I think Miami is not a top 5 offensive line. I think Notre Dame slides into that top 5. Miami right outside of the top 5. Now on the defensive side of things, 85 and Burnham is back. They even still got Bryce Young over here. Okay, I like it. Sophomore and Trey Orr, 84. You got Thomas is right here still, and you got the guy with the funny name. I'm not even gonna say act like I know. D tackle Henich is back, 82 overall. They need some help here. Good strength with the backup, but need some help there. Outside linebacker Kai and Zinter, they lost a
Briggs.
really big time dog at the outside linebacker, but they still bring in the young boys is back. Bowen is back. Like they got some guys back, so they're good at middle linebacker. And they can move a guy out there. And Sneed and Alsbury both back. Both of these guys are
He
big
was
time blue
second, I
chips,
was
of course.
third.
They're good. They're good. So this is why you see in the 90 overall defense. And then that cornerback room, they lost one of the best cornerbacks in college football, but look what they have. Senior Mickey, 93 speed, 99 excel, solid. 81 overall, and then Christian Gray, he played, and he got a lot of action because the guy that was on the other side of him, people were scared to throw at. So he's going to come in with good speed as well. Gore sitting here as a sophomore, 92 speed, 95. I don't know what he is, though. Is the man black, white? Is he Indian? What is he over there with the slick hair? Like, come on, man. Get it right. Is this guy named Diarrhea? Oh, no, Dahamania. 98 speed. Where's the kid that they got? Here you go. Callis. I was going after him, too. Javante Callis comes in with 99 speed. Let's just call that what it is. 4-star impact player. So they got a guy that I'm quite sure he's gonna play this
I
year. I
lost one of
would
these
too.
niggas to these niggas too.
But do you
One
see
of
the
these
speed?
cornerbacks.
Do you see the
Yeah,
speed
no,
at? Oh my God!
I lost one of these top freshman quarterback. I don't remember which one. I just know the
Right here
speed.
at
No, it was
Callis,
I think it was
me,
McKinley. No, I think
Florida.
mine was.
It was at first it was UCF, Florida, and then it was me. I got all the way up to 3. Hitter got up to number 2, and Notre Dame stayed at number 1.
I think I lost McKinley. Go down to McKinley. Where is he from?
How the fuck Falk let him get out of motherfucking New York?
No, it's not him. It's not him.
How
I
Falk?
lost.
How you let him get out of New York, bro? There's no way.
I lost one of these fucking freshman cornerbacks to Notre Dame.
Maybe it's Hamania. Jamestown, North Carolina, right here. Antoine Hymania.
It was him. 98 speed. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I
Look, I
lost him
tell you
to
one
Notre
thing,
Dame.
you're not running by nobody in this secondary. Like, he got choices to make over here. This team fucking loaded. I mean, look at the junior, 97 speed, 94 excel. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at Talich. 95, 94, only a redshirt sophomore. Shit. Bro,
Mm-mm-mm.
you said Notre Dame gonna be in the championship with Clemson, right? That's what you said?
I see it. Me or Notre, I mean, me and Clemson or Clemson and Notre Dame.
You might as well you should have let Don Schuller go to the portal because that's my guy. I watched him play. I coached him actually. Uh, Don Schuller though, remember him, Max? Drafted him in real
Mm-hmm.
draft. He should have let him go to the motherfucking portal. Yo, the ACC got some fucking guys over here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we had the number 3 team, the number 4 team, the number 17, the number 18, the number 12 team, the number 21, 17 team, the number 21. That's 16, 7 teams in the ACC rank, bro. That's 7. That's ranked in the ACC, cuz. Boy, the next conference we're going to talk about is the Big 12, right? All right, so Arizona comes back as the top team right now, but yeah, because they won the championship and they come back. And here's why you picked them at number 1 and they're at number 11. Watch D West watch how funny he grade be. What up, coach?
Yo.
I'm just letting you know I'm live on the show right now, so
Oh, my bad, I ain't about to say that crazy.
you know you about to say something crazy.
No, we was trying to play last night. I got
Alabama, Alabama, go ahead.
yeah, the damn game kept me sinking last night.
Okay.
I don't know if it was like if I was trying to use my playbook or he was trying to use his, but I reset my roster and I told him to do his. I don't know if he did his or not, but I reset my roster and make sure I ain't have 2 people. You know how I do when you
Right.
got like 2
Yeah.
people in. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Well, are y'all gonna reschedule because
That's what they tried today because
yeah,
the
yeah.
servers was doing updates
I'm gonna
It
play
was
on myself.
it was server updates last night too. That could have been some of the reason
Oh,
too.
okay.
Also,
Okay.
we don't advance until tomorrow anyway, though, right? Right, Max? Advance it
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow. Yeah, advance it tomorrow. So you have today and tomorrow to
Okay.
to play that game up until 6 o'clock, 5:30
Right.
actually.
Alright, y'all hit him up today. We'll play today.
All right, bro. Well, you better start getting on here doing something with your team. That Florida State
That
team look
shit's
like shit.
pitiful.
Man, listen.
Nah,
You look like shit in real life. What are you talking
Well,
about?
yeah, I mean, y'all look
you're
exactly how
supposed to
y'all
be
look
the
in real
difference.
life, though. But you're supposed to be the difference maker over there. That shit crazy.
I get that
Yeah,
active. I get
Yeah,
that active.
there's
I've
been
been
a
busy, dog.
it's been a problem with you to not being active and having these shit. I can't save you either. This ain't Madden where I can give you a package or some upgrade. Nothing. You got to get it done, dog.
I know I got to get my recruiting right. I know I had a lot of good recruits last year, but like I
But
said, man, I had a lot of stuff to do at work, man. So they throwing a lot of shit on me lately.
well,
So
you rank number 7 right now, and the way that roster
yeah,
look, you about to lose by 80 to Alabama.
we gonna see, man. I know what to do against them.
All right.
We gonna see.
That means you watched the chip. Look, he watched the chip. But I know what to do against
he
you.
said, "I know what to do."
All right, bro. Let me get back to this show, cuz.
All right, bro.
All right.
All right.
Well, the Florida State coach called. Then he understands what he did with his roster. You heard him. Yeah, we look like we look in real life. Yep. I'm calling it now. 60 burger.
60 burger.
Let their internets work. That shit ain't no connection. That's niggas that got bad internet. Both of them. Would not let them play that shit. Nope. We not even gonna try this shit. At least when y'all play other motherfuckers, it's bad internet, and one guy got good internet. Over here, y'all both got shitty internets. We're never gonna better call a play. The refs won't better see what's going on the field. We ain't gonna better get no TV timeouts in. Nothing. Nope. We're gonna delay this game. Y'all have to go to another broadcast for this shit. All right. So look, man. Back to the Big 12, and Arizona won the championship last year. And not for nothing, the team that should be talked about. Let's just get this out the way. The team that should be talked about the most in the Big
Mike
12
shook
last
his
year.
face with tears of joy.
Shit, me. I digress though. I don't want no problems. You know that shit terrible. But anyway, I want to give first of all, I just want to give shout out to Sane. And here's
Antonio. Oh,
no to
same.
Sane. Here's first. Antonio gonna get a lot of love, but let's start with Sane first
I forgot
because
he is over there.
he
UCF.
had
Yeah, yeah,
USC
yeah.
UCF and he never lost to nobody. Not a user, not the computer. Didn't reset a game. None of that shit. He lost because he just didn't respond to nothing 3 times. He lost a 50-50 to Harrisburg, and he lost 2 computer games by just not responding and playing them. Or UCF, in my opinion, would have been in the championship game. Now, who they would have been playing, I don't know. Now, I was impressed with what Rob did all year, right? But we all had some things going on which kind of shut me down on the league, where I felt like I just lost control of it, like, and I had to get out of my anger over it and figure it out. And I think we did a good job of it, right? And let's start with this. The moment I told you to quit your game to get the real draft shit done is where I fucked the first season up.
Factual.
And I'm
Well, the
not,
first
I'm,
season went fucked up.
yeah, the
Not
first season,
you, but
well,
the
I
first
fucked
season
it
went
up
fucked up.
because once I allowed you to do something, I wasn't stopping nobody else from doing it. So I take the blame for that. I don't have no problem. Like, look, bro, as a commissioner, who I am in real life, I'm not the same person when it comes down to this game. I'm a lot more lenient, and I understand to be able to, your league to run good, you got to be able to listen to other people. You also got to be able to try to, cater in a sense to people. Like, try to help guys in situations that you can't help them, give guys a shot. I'll give you a prime example. Shane Thought and Hillburgers both, they were advanced ahead of each other. They thought they played, let's say week 9, they thought they played, and they really played in week 11. So they in chat reaching out to each other. Harold Burgers probably was feeling it, and Shane just wasn't paying attention. So Shane hears Harold Burgers reaching out to him, and they think they play, and they really don't play. But then they get themselves 2 advances to schedule. At 7:30, they want to play their game at advance night.
Hmm.
If Hitter wasn't hitting the league, guess who would have been playing that game at 7:30?
Yeah, they definitely would have played that shit.
And they know that. And a lot of you motherfuckers know that because of how I am. And I do it because, man, look, at the end of the day, we just want a good league.
We
We want to
want
have
niggas to
fun.
play. I want niggas.
We not trying to mute niggas. Like, niggas be getting it fucked up. For real. They be getting me fucked up. Like, I always show love to motherfuckers until you show me I shouldn't be showing you love. It's just that simple. 9 out of the 10 things that go on in this league when it come down to me don't even be me. It be a motherfucker they don't like around me, which makes it be me. Like, real talk. Now, with that being said, Hitter is going to follow the rules and make everybody follow the rules. So look what happened. I'm changing computer rules after Hitter done took 2 losses to the computer. Now I'm trying to change rules. And one of my loyalist motherfuckers is following the rules, taking his losses, doing everything I do. And here I go trying to cater to people and helping motherfuckers out, and then forgetting about the guy that got my back to the most. Well, and I got to stop doing that type of shit, right? And listen, your league don't run from. And here's the thing: a lot of guys got leagues, and I'm so beyond that. My shit better than yours. You copying off of me. I'm beyond that, man. Everybody do your own. I don't care. Do what you do. I do what I do. It is what it is. I don't care if you're stealing users out my league. All that. I don't care about none of that shit. And just as long as we having fun, is where I'm at in life with this shit, right? But I let guys. This is what happened. Y'all all love my league and me until something don't go right for you. And here's the difference. If one of y'all can give me an example when I haven't stood on business and been the guy I've always been from the time I met you. If you're a guy that I could pick up the phone or call and have a conversation with, you tell me, have I ever been the one to change on you, or have you changed on me when something don't go your way? Remember this, right? And this is the hard part about being a guy that run a league and it goes summer to summer. And you have a run since 17 where your leagues run and chip from summer to summer. I seen all the shit being talked in the chat, all that stuff. Like, guys grown, man. Say what y'all say. I always show love to guys. I'm not trying to mute guys. But some things get to the point where I'm beyond that shit. Like I'm beyond the indirect shit and all this and that. Like I'm beyond all that shit. It's not like I don't have no hate in my body for nobody, bro. What I hate is motherfuckers that show me who they really are, even though I give them a chance, and then another chance, then another chance, then another chance, and again. And I'll use my boy Hillburgers, a guy that I met in real life that came and spent time around me, my mom, been around my family, all that shit. As soon as something went wrong, he thought went wrong because nothing went wrong. Shot fast, he threw shots at me. Y'all don't know about the DM he sent me, but he threw shots at me in the main chat. The problem is we've been so quiet lately where we don't shoot back no more. So when I do shoot back, niggas start losing their fucking mind, and there's no point in losing your mind for it, right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't got no ill will in your heart and you here to have fun and enjoy the league, and you ain't got that type of energy, then we should all be having fun. We should all be enjoying ourselves. In competition, there are going to be flare-ups. I understand that. But some of the shit we be doing, I'm not just pointing finger, we, as in me, myself as well. But the one thing I can stand on is the way you meet me or talk to me on the phone, because I built a relationship with 90% of the people in my league. That means I could pick up the phone, kick it with y'all. I could say some personal. We could talk personal. Some of y'all know more about my personal life than I will wish y'all did, right? But we kick it. Here's the thing, though. Ask yourself this. Have I changed on you, or have you got mad at something that didn't go your way and gave me your ass to kiss, and then I become your problem? Listen, it's guys that be on chat with me. Listen, Max, right now, me and Max went through some shit. And I say the same thing. I still can stand on it. Did I do something to you? Or I let you know how I felt from you doing something, and we stand on it, right? We don't hate each other, right? We back kicking it, chilling. Everything you doing, you doing. Everything I'm doing. And we still do things together in this league to get leagues running. We got three leagues running right now, and they going all chip. And we all got our hands in those three leagues, and they all going chip. And there's guys in this league that branched off and started their own leagues and their shit chip. And they come through, out of respect for me. Some of them will say, I ain't gonna take nobody out your league, and then you do, right? But then the respect you realize is it is what it is, bro. As long as you ain't throwing dirt on the game when you taking guys out of the league, I'm cool. Because if I bring somebody from your league, I'm not gonna talk bad about you to get them. Like if you've been in my leagues, you know what I like, what I got going on, right? My hustle is this game. The business I do is with this game, right? And I cater to that. I shut it down. Like I'm not off that type time in the college league, right? And a lot of you guys that played in all my leagues benefited from it, whether you like it or not. You had to like it because you're over there all the time. You're always in the league, right? But I make sure everybody good. I come through, even if you're not buying a package in Madden, I still come through, shoot you some bell, make sure everything good, make sure you're having fun. A lot of y'all seem to forget all that type of shit I actually do when something don't go your way. Soon as something don't go your way, and I get it because I used to do it. Like I used to do it. I guess because I'm probably older than a lot of you motherfuckers, so I used to do it. Soon as something don't go your way, here comes the conspiracies and all the bullshit and huddling up. And this ain't got nothing to do. Let me not even say. Let me say this. When I say huddle up, please, because we kind of tagged the Miami boys as huddling up. I'm not talking about y'all right now. Although I will be. I'm not talking about y'all right now at all. I'm talking about, how niggas get. If motherfuckers always the guy that's in chat paying attention to everybody talking shit, and then niggas form like Voltron for no reason. When at the end of the day, you're over here. I would like if niggas that's listening right now, some of y'all know that I've been talking shit in the chat about Double R starting another league and all that, and some of y'all ain't even get invites. Some of y'all probably been like, I ain't playing that shit. I'm in too many leagues. Some of y'all want to be in that league right now. I done mentioned it a million times, and you're not gonna tell me you want to be in it because you're waiting for me to hit you and ask you to come in it. But then I know you'll form type of, why he start, what he start another league for? Like, what do you want? What do you, I guess because the editing, they want to edit now or something. Nah, bro. Like, I mean, yo, in Homecoming, you knew before we didn't have any edit control that we wanted to turn this into the league where we make real life recruits. Everything I do is about real draft, real life, all that stuff. Well, the tools is available to us to do that now. And what I did was, without saying it out loud, I hear the chat. I pay attention to not all of it, but I catch a lot of it. Soon as the motherfucking the editing open up, what start happening? Niggas start talking shit. I don't fuck the editing, all this and that, and niggas is waiting for it to happen so they can have an excuse to roll when they really want to roll anyway, right? That's why I covered 3 leagues the way I do. So if you roll, you roll. I'ma just bring somebody else in. It is what it is. We keep it moving. Right. But with that being said, I followed y'all, and what I saw the most, without niggas being ignorant about it, was nah, keep this the same. So what I do this. Now what I do is I know who your 2025 class is. Right. They're verbal commits. They're not real. They're not yours until they sign a dotted line. And I hit niggas and ask them, yo, you picked up 2 receivers, or you picked up a quarterback, or you picked up a running back. I can make him the real life guy if you want, right? But I'm not going to touch the ratings of the person. I'm just going to change who he is. His likeness, what his likeness is what would change, right? I'm not going to make him oh, well, he ran a 4.1, bro. All right, 99 speed. I'm not going to do none of that. That's not happening. No, that rating editing is not happening. What can happen is I can give you a real life guy. So let's say you get a 5'8" receiver, and he got the speed of one of your recruits you got, but that recruit is actually 6'3". You benefit there. That's a win for you, right? Don't get hung up and shit. I started Double R because I have a real draft Madden league. Remember, most of y'all that play in my real draft league didn't have to pay. Y'all paid early as fuck to play in real draft, but we didn't have a real draft in Madden 24. Remember, I held it off on a real draft, and we just ran Game of Thrones the whole year, so that we can run it concurrent with college. Some things happened with college that didn't make it work the way we wanted it to work, and things came late. So the new league is started for that. What we doing in that Double R league will translate to our RDL 8 league. So everything that's happening over there, the recruiting, making the real recruits, all the stuff we're going to do over there will all go to how we do real draft, right? Your recruiting classes in the real draft will be from the Double R league. I was trying to do it with Homecoming. The EA people was just late. They were late to give us, some control, and now they're giving it to us. So instead of fucking with the integrity of this league, I started another one to run concurrent with our Madden league. And it's invite only. I don't want no fucking headaches at all, bro. I'm tired of it. Tired of the headaches. So if you are, we do have some space over there. If you're a guy that want to come over there and play, I have no problem bringing you in. And you can come in and get a group of 5 score, anything you want. Like, you want to come over, we welcome it. But it's just know we are going to be changing what your recruits look like, because it's the real draft. It's just college real draft. Double R, real recruit league. All right. Now let's get back to the get back. I'm giving Shane his props because, in all actuality, Shane would have won this would have won the Big 12 conference, right? You had guys play their computer more than once, things like that got them where they got. And I'm a competitor too. Although I want to run the league and have guys having fun, I went on the road and lost 3 road games, and it probably would have stopped me from being in the Big 12 championship. But there's a couple of guys that played the computer more than once, a couple of times, that probably wouldn't have been in the Big 12 championship game if that didn't happen. Get what I'm saying? So a lot of the things that was happening, I blame myself. I didn't go out there and blame anybody. I'm the reason why this shit happened, because I allowed it to happen. I just appreciate all y'all who understand. All right, I'm taking it out of my hands because I know y'all know how to get around me. All right, and come on, please. And I'm going to be like, I got you, bro. I'm going to hold it. I got you. I'm going to hold it. I got you. All right, don't worry about it. All right, nah, fuck it. It is what it is. You ain't getting through Hitter with that, right? And most of y'all don't dislike Hitter, right? Even though he's completely associated with me, you don't dislike him. So he's going to do it with no ill will and intent to keep the league running good. So now that we off of that, our second season about to be amazing, and the entertainment part about to start happening now. Now I'm back, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm ready to get back to the work. and have us having fun. That's just why you having a long real talk today. All right, but I just want to give Shane his props, and I'm not taking away from what the football play that was on the field from Kansas or Arizona, because both of them boys played really good football all year long, and I was highly impressed, especially Kansas coming off of 2 losses to start the season off with, and then doing what he did to get to the championship game was very impressive. Arizona was impressive all year, like all year long. Antonio was kind of really good all year long. And playing him, I like what he did, especially with Tetris at receiver, how he used that. Now, with that being said, he got the only quarterback that's coming back in this conference, Max.
This is UCF.
Arizona,
Oh,
Arizona.
Arizona. Oh,
He got the
yeah, nah,
everybody
and
else lost their
Fafita,
quarterback. Everybody
Fafita,
else
some
lost their
shit.
quarterback except for Kansas State and Arizona.
His name like Fafita, right?
Yep, Fafita, Noah Fafita.
Yeah, he gonna be alright. He gonna be real good.
He gonna be all right. He a top 10 quarterback in the league right now. Fuck you mean he gonna be all right? He's him.
Alright is in like relevance as like he gonna be straight. He gonna be a good quarterback. I just don't. Did Tetris go to the draft?
Hell yeah, he had to be a first rounder. Tetris was a dog. If Antonio watching, what round did Tetris go? I know he was a first round pick. So look, you got your redshirt junior quarterback back. You got a quarterback, you got a
Round
chance.
1.
Round one, like I said, you got a quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
you got a chance, right? Now, here's where he's going to get money at, because he, as the season progressed, he started really understanding how to play with these running backs, as far as in the passing game and the run game. But come on, bro, you looking at a senior that's 98 speed, 97 excel. I mean, you're looking at the kid that transferred from Auburn, who, in my opinion, really is a really good running back, who developed into something nice as a junior. Then you got Johnson down here 97, 99, and then you got Antonio Haynes down here 97, 99. I don't even know who the fuck Antonio Haynes is or where the fuck he came from, but look at this shit. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, here's where you start matching the pieces. Like, when I look at Arizona, I say, up, they got a quarterback, they gonna better do some things the rest of us not gonna better do. They're strong at the quarterback position. Then you get to the running back room, and you can't tell me having a bunch of Dylan Edwardses in your backfield ain't gonna be a, like, you can look at the fact that you lost Tetris and see these running backs and say, I could do some things with them. There's one receiver running back, elusive. Like, you got guys to do some shit with. Now, with that being said, you go to this wide receiver room, and you're looking at Malachi Rowley. Now, you're not going to listen. Development is everything. When you start looking at the Big 12, you can't look at it the way you look at the SEC, the Big 10, or the ACC at right now. Like, you got to look at the Big 12 as what we all look like versus what you seeing. So when you start seeing 79 and 75 in the Big 12 conference, Max, that's good. That's not a problem for us competing with each other, right?
No.
The question is going to be down here with these 69s. You want the speed on the field, so are you going to play them? Okay, gotcha. Uh, are you going to play them? Right? Like, are you willing to play a redshirt freshman that's a 69 overall? Because he
Let
got
me pull up
95
on my
speed,
laptop
98
now.
acceleration, right? Like,
I think
some of these guys,
Antonio gonna do that though for some of them because I saw him recruiting, and I mean I hope this ain't too much sauce. I saw him recruiting some 2 stars, which for Antonio and being Arizona, he's got time to play some long game pause with some of the recruits and like actually be able to have them redshirt and maybe not play until their redshirt sophomore year. So that's what 3 years in a program, and then he's got some guys that he might get lucky and they can play early. So I think really that's kind of the way he's probably going to go about it. Is some of those recruits he's going to see, you know, what they can provide for him early because he's still going to try to steal some wins with just those young recruits in the sense of like he's got that type of quarterback now and speed does kill. So, Antonio's always locked in a little bit on his team and his recruits. Definitely, I could imagine. So I think he's got a nice little ladder effect that's up and coming because when you're going in getting some 4 stars, some 3 stars, and then you're still making time for some 2 stars too, it's kind of like okay, you're already setting up ladder by default because some of them 2 and 3 stars not gonna be ready right now.
look, I don't know who made the comment, but I seen it, and somebody said something on the sense of college football is not Madden. and in a sense, it's not at all, right? And
Talking
I
about them
think,
overalls.
yeah, nah, when it just come down to like gameplay and playing the game, like what happens is you get guys that think this. Some of you niggas that was great in Madden ain't gonna be dominant and in college like y'all was. And I think there's truth to that, right? But I also think is another side of that, right? I think if Antonio had one of those big time programs, I think he'd be a guy that could say something like that. But he has Arizona Wildcats. Right now they're a 3-star program. And what he did with that 3-star program, because he brought in 4 stars, right? Like he brought in some 4 stars on this roster. I saw it myself because I was in battle with a lot of guys being in the Big 12 with him. Um, but when you're looking at this roster, we're going to look at it the way we looked at some of them ACC teams, right? You're looking at, but again, you got to separate the conference right now because all you got to do is win your conference or don't lose more than two games, and you got a shot to still be in the playoffs. Now, can you compete with those teams? I don't. We'll all find out. But what you got is you got a foundation that you can start with and build from. And the problem is this: a lot of guys, Antonio flip flopped on mad teams in the Big 12. I mean, he started off with West Virginia. He had Baylor, Texas Tech, TCU, uh, Houston, motherfucking. He had every team over there except for the guys that stood home. And he was looking for a fit. And a lot of the times when he would tell me why he's leaving that team and rather get this team, it all came down to what this roster going to look like. And I remember in the beginning of when we was all excited and waiting for the game to come out, so the chat was buzzing, everybody was having fun, and we was doing the space shows and all that shit. And niggas kept saying, "I don't know what you gonna do with Colorado after the motherfucker storing them get up out of here." Remember those conversations, Max?
Yep.
Well, I think that's what made Antonio try to figure out what team he wanted. He kept jumping from team to team. Rob made a comment, bro. Kansas is all right. I like them and all that, but like, I didn't realize I was gonna be losing all this shit. So
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere with this. And remember when
I
I
knew what
said,
was happening in college. I needed a good team, not decent.
And some of them teams, you can still stay where you, some of them teams, you can pick them not knowing, and you know you still gonna be in a good situation. Like the Arizonas, the
remember,
Kansas, like,
remember when I said, I don't know why y'all tripping. Like y'all not looking at the roster. I'm looking at Colorado. Like y'all tripping. Why should I be worried? I'm gonna be in the same boat as 90% of the league. Once my quarterback leave, I need a quarterback. Unless you had a quarterback that wasn't that guy anyway, and so he left, and it don't matter. Like the boy Ugalele. Well, Antonio is back with a quarterback, and I think that is the reason why he should be favored to win this division. I mean, this conference for FIDA. Simple as that. But then when you start looking at the roster, the running back room is heavy as fuck and is really good, in my opinion. Like, well, it's fast. I'm not gonna say really good, but it's fast and it's good for the Big 12. The wide receiver room. I mean, you got some guys that's in development stage, but you are gonna have to force some guys on the field. But most of the Big 12 is like that. Whether they lost guys to the portal or guys left in graduation, most of them like that. So when you look at this wide receiver room, you see the potential. The good thing is there's one, two, three guys that are upperclassmen on this roster. Other than so you got development pieces that you gotta try to do what you do with it. Right now, your defense is 86 overall, so that's where you're better at. So offensively, remember we talked about this match. You can control the offense itself with younger guys on the field because you're doing a lot. But defense, you need them. You need some aware
you need
guys.
some guys.
So you're
Yeah,
looking
you
at
need them guys on defense.
tight end position. I mean, every position. Then this is where you start asking questions that how you look on the offensive line. Well, one of the biggest things he was able to do was keep his right tackle, who was a pro that didn't go pro, right? So 84 at left tackle, 88 at left guard. Now you're starting to see, okay, the guy got a running game and an offensive line right now. 77 at center, right guard, 76 right tackle, 90 overall, 93 with the green eyes up. So you got a solid offensive line to help you with that run game. And you just need that shit to block and do some things for the run game because your quarterback is going to make those younger receivers or those non-high overall receivers look good. Trey Smith is back, 82 overall. You still got some guys here that's in development stage, but you got the time to do it. Right in 84, you look at Lane back, Malioto, 81. Two good D tackles to start off with, really good strength. Uh, I mean, 6'2", 260, that's, light in the ass, but that ain't going to kill you on a video game. That would kill him in real life, but not on a video game. Outside linebacker, Bay, 80 overall, 79 behind that. You got a young freshman with 90 speed, 93 excel. I'm trying to figure out, was this an athlete that you just moved a linebacker thinking that we ain't going to be all over that shit? Because hell no. I ain't see a linebacker. He not standing there. The fuck?
Who?
Zamil Westerby. He know I know.
What's his position?
Yeah, he got him at outside linebacker. This nigga 5'11", 186. Like he ain't played corner or something.
Oh,
You don't give a fuck for running back. You don't get him the fuck out of there.
Come on,
No way he said, come on,
Antonio.
Antonio, with the bullshit. You know
You said, wait, no, you said 5'11", 186? Oh, yeah, no.
Anthits
186
is
is
very
not.
surgery on his neck.
that don't mean shit, cuz he can't play those
Nah,
linebackers.
not 186. Ain't no. He might have got a elusive back athlete and
That's
then
what he
tried to
got. He
change
got
it,
a
but
running back
yeah.
that he moved. He said he was better at linebacker.
Just
Now I know you. I know if you don't do it yourself, the overall because of the overall.
It
If
just
they
goes to the
athlete, they
best
gonna
overall,
put it
yeah.
to the best overall. Now I feel you. Nah, he can't stay there, cuz hell no. But anyway, Justin Flo is back. Look, man, Justin Flo was like written off and forgot about. I think he brought him back. It just sucked that as a senior he's only up to 83 because what he did with him last year really was a situation where he should be drafted. Um, but Manu back. Ain't this number 5? This number 5, right? Or no? The linebacker number 5 that could play DN all over the place. I think that's him because he's back. Him and Flo being together, that's a win right here. Now you got to win there. Here's where Antonio is going to get some money at right now. His top 3 corners and then the speed he got at corner, like he's in a good situation. I mean, Groves Kilbrew ended up being a 91 overall, 94 man. Like, are we going to see some man being played out of him? He got some good speed with good change of direct. I mean, 99, 96, 97, 91, and that's your first 4 corners. So, like, it can get thick over there. New safety in the building, even though you got some guys that already was on this roster still here, but new safety in the building, and then you got Dalton Johnson. So he lost Melinado and somebody else, and then Davis. Tacario Davis also went to the league, but he got good safety, good speed for the Big 12. I think they're in a good situation. They're the number 11th ranked team in the Big 12. Let's go look for. I'm just looking for the rank. Kansas is next, I guess. Yep, Kansas ranked number 18. They did play their first game, and Kansas is in a situation where everything's a rebuild right now. The fact that he's still an 85 overall, offense and defense, it wasn't you, it was Eric, my cousin Eric. It kept saying Eric. It kept saying Eric Jones Israel. So I put him on the game as that every year, Eric Jones Israel. And I kept saying Eric Jones Israel, and I'm thinking like you calling me off of Facebook or some shit. And you got my last name on the back of your fucking name and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? All right, Rob got another fast quarterback, but this quarterback ain't like the senior he lost. 77 overall, 90 speed, 90 excel. Wait, no, that's strong safety. I'm tripping. I'm sorry. My bad. Here we go. Motherfucker, Isaiah Marshall, sophomore. He bought a 4-star in right here in Genesis. I remember this kid. I was going after him too. He got some speed. Now his offense ain't gonna change much because he still got some speed at the quarterback position to do some things. He just needs them to develop. Where my grub at? Yeah. All right. So at the running back position, Morrison is here. He loses his running back. But Highshaw was still back, but then you bring in some guys, so you're looking at it. Again, everything a rebuild over here. They 18. They already lost their first game to the CPU. He took his L. I think Rob is going to have to use this season as let's try to steal some wins, and we feel like we can still compete in the Big 12. But let's make this an all-season thing for me. What I mean by that is Rob need to attack the high school serious and really go after guys and get this team back on track.
Before
Because
it get out of hand.
before it get all the way out of hand right now over here. So I'm not going to spend long on the roster. Because look, he lost two NFL corners, top tier corners too, and two potential NFL safeties. So like he got work to do over here at number 18. Kansas State. Here's where Kansas State going to kill me at. Avery Johnson is back, and we should be talking about Avery Johnson. Like, okay, you got your quarterback back, right? Because he's a fucking dog. They also brought in a freshman that they redshirted that looked like, oh my god, that's how you feel? Normal like a motherfucker. That's what we get, the Big 12. We don't get all those elite 4 stars and all that shit. But Dylan Edwards is back. And Gideon's is back, right? Your 1,200-yard rushing back is back. The big back is back. And you got Edwards back. So you can do some things. You got this kid, Devon Rice. I mean, Kansas look good. Kansas State look good right now, man. I mean, I like some of this stuff. Now, they lost some big-time receivers, but they still brought Spivey back. And here's the guy. Now, Jaquez Bradley Demps, in every dummy league I had, he ended up being 99 speed, so he still got room for development. But you got some receivers. You lost your big-time receivers, though, to the transfer portal. But they still got some work to do over here. Tight end still got some work to do. What the O-line look like? Like they got work to do. And you know what? I'm going to say the same thing with them. How about their let's look at middle linebackers. Yeah, they got some work to do over here. But they got some pieces they can grow with. And I would do the same thing. Like this would be a situation where, we really attack in high school. Like we're not filling our board up with 35 fucking players and all that. We going after what we want and we going after it. Good cornerback room though. Good speed in the cornerback room at least. So they can run with anybody.
Round 1. I knew what was happening in college. I needed a good team, not decent. LB was his highest over and was an ad.
All right, so we start looking at,
put him there.
let's go continue to go down in the conference. So we looking for TCU and Utah. All right, Bo with TCU. Let's see, the Hoover's back. Their quarterback is back, but he got a lot of work to do as well. Running back room. All right, again, when you start seeing these type of rosters, you're looking at a project. Simple as that. A whole lot of receivers. This is just not big. Got some speed over here, though. You gotta figure it out, though. Yep, figure it out over here. Look, Utah got let's go to same. So it starts here first. Ja'Carri Brown, the Miami transfer, is going to be the new starting quarterback over here. And he got enough speed and throw power to still keep staying in the same offense that he ran. And you can see the overall, 88, 87, 89. So this UCF team is pretty solid. And I think they feel like they can compete and win the conference. Montgomery in the backfield. They lost their backfield, but they got some guys still as well. Over here for sure. Miles Montgomery. You start looking at the wide receiver room. Townsend is back. Magwood. You're looking at Bridgewater. So they got guys. I mean, Keelan Fox is playing receiver. He was a tight end out in high school. Okay, I like it though. I see what he's doing. He actually played tight end. I don't even know why you got him at receiver, but whatever. Tight end. He could play tight end for you too if you want to do too, just so you know. Tight end. This is why he don't got him at tight end. Looking at Pittman Jr. out there. Yeah, Keelan would be playing tight end for me. O-line wise, need some help here, right? I haven't seen the 80 yet on O-line. You need help here. This is going to be a problem going forward. Defense, they did bring in their D tackle back. They brought Hunter back, 88 overall. So he's a dog, and Walker. So you're not running up the middle too much on this team. The linebacker level, they got freshmen starting there. Middle linebackers, juniors. Yeah, so like as you can see, man, some of these teams were senior heavy. Some of these teams look good the first year, but when y'all niggas was saying what y'all was saying, I'm saying, well, what teams y'all looking at? Like, what the fuck you talking about? But okay. They got work to do over here. Like, he could build it back up, and he could start with Fagans and Henderson at corner and Jackson. That's one thing you're not going to do. He had a lot of interceptions last year. You ain't just going to throw all over this team. They got a really solid secondary. That's something he can completely build off of. But that O line gonna hurt him, and we gotta find out what Jakari Brown is about. We going down to Utah because they are 87 across the board, and when you start looking at that, they lose their quarterback. But you got Isaac Wilson, you got Zach Wilson's little brother sitting right here. And to be honest with you, he ain't that far away from being a starter over there. But Winfrey right now look like he'll have a starting job. The backfield, Stanley Glover is back. Glover is a problem. Woods, they got some guys. They brought in a freshman. Where that freshman that me and him was battling for? Is this him? No, this ain't him. Maybe you don't got him playing. I don't know. He might have been an athlete changing to something else. Is this him? Nope. Zipperer. They need help over here, but they got a good roster. I mean, again, you ain't gonna see high overall. And usually when you're looking at Utah, you know they got a good offensive line. Simple as that. And this is where he'll get money at. Hillburgers actually should win games in that monster offense this year with that offensive line. Like everything high 80s across the board. Fando and they're gonna apply pressure up front as well. We start looking at this. Yep. They're gonna better apply front at the line. But no, not a 66 ain't gonna work. 92 will though. 81 can work for you. Yes, sir. Y'all all see the difference so far. All I showed was the ACC first, and now we're showing the Big 12. And the overalls look good. Offense, defense, overall look good. But when you start getting into the meat and potatoes of what's over here, then you start to be like, hold up, wait a minute, what's going on? Like a lot of teams got to work. Look, the Big 12, in my opinion, I still see Arizona as the favorite right now. But I think if there's a conference that's wide the fuck open, it's the Big 12. The Big 12 is wide open. I don't know who the fuck gonna come out from out of that to play in that championship game. I mean, we're looking at Utah roster right now. And then Shador left. Travis Hunter left. Jimmy Horn left. LaJohntay Wester left. Will Shepard left. BJ Green left. Dolan Hayes left. Nwankwo left. Shane Copes left. Ryan Buell left. You lose Travis Hunter on offense and defense. Shiloh Sanders leaves. Cam Michael leaves. Cam Silliman Craig leaves. And yet, they fuck around and be a computer team. All right. So Ryan Staub stuck around. He's been there since 2023, Deion first year. But we brought in Cordell Stewart's son, number 3 player in Colorado. He had a funny name, it was like Steve Bordex, but impact player, 4-star. He was a gem. I thought he would at least be a star or elite. And then we bought the 3-star, and I changed his name to Juju Lewis. But I also took a screenshot of him during the recruiting stage when I scouted him to show that this is who he was, right? And the battle was between these two quarterbacks, Stewart and Lewis, right? Stewart's at 878, and you're looking at Colorado when it comes down to the quarterback position, it's not that much better than anybody else. You go from having Shador, who's a 95, one of the highest overall quarterback on the game last year, to 70s now, right? And the battle is between Juju Lewis and Cordell Stewart II. And shout out to Matt for checking me on his name spelling. All right, but the running back room return. So when you looking at guys' running back room and we look at ours, we're comfortable with ours as well. We like everything about our running back room. We brought in a 4-star. I named him Najee Israel, but we brought in a 4-star power back. We like him. He only a normal, but we like the 4-star power back. One of our 8 4-stars we brought in this year. We attacked this bitch like it was the NFL draft, and the transfer portal was free agency.
Spelled it wrong. No E at the end.
But you see why we can redshirt him. Brandon Hood redshirted last year. Y'all know who that is. Speed. Michael Watts went from 88 speed to a 91 with 98 Excel. We love that. Augusta is back, and Dallin Hayden came back for his senior year, 93 speed, 95 Excel. We like our running back room. We also like our fullback, tight end, and the athlete that we turned to fullback. We like both of these guys at the fullback position. This is what you do. You got to turn your athletes to shit that they fit. Not shit you that not the best they are. They gotta fit. They gotta fit our rules as well. All right. So in the receiver room, I lost. When I said I lost all these people, I named everybody I lost: Jimmy Horn, LaJohntay Wester, Will Shepard, Travis Hunter. That's 4 receivers we lost. And yet, look at this receiver room. Because we didn't bring no real good receiver in. We hit the portal and we brought in a former 4-star in Quasi Gilmore and a former 4-star Anthony Eager. We brought them in. They were only 2 stars in the portal though. We brought them in, right? We got a junior college kid.
He real
We brought
life
him
family,
in,
a cousin on my dad's side.
and we not playing Blizzard to never make this team. You just know we can't cut them yet. But when you take a look at what we got, you start realizing that Marion Miller grew up. He went from a 90 speed to 95. We love that. Cordell Russell's speed ain't changed, 87, 86, but he went up to an 82. And he's a short-handed receiver. But here go the freshmen: Cam Michael, Jordan O. You still got Terrell Timmons, who we redshirted. He was supposed to actually be a senior this year, but we redshirted him and brought him back. And then Draylon Miller sitting down here with that 92, 95 speed, where you were going to use him as well. So we like our wide receiver room, right? We're comfortable with what we're looking at. We bring Sam Hart back, right? But we get the 4-star. Now, here's the difference between that's why I said I was sick. I'm looking at Hoodie 4 stars, and I'm looking at my 4 stars, and you done seen the third 4-star with a normal on him. That mean he gonna develop like he probably already at his peak right now. Like he ain't gonna go dummies where I can get him up to a 90 by the time it's time for him to leave. Right, not gonna happen. But right now, he one of the best top tight ends on my team, and we addressed the position we need. Remember, I said I used the high school recruiting as 7 rounds of the draft, and we went and got what we needed. Simple as that, right? I knew we wouldn't need receivers, so I didn't press. If I couldn't get the one I wanted, it is what it is. But all right, so we're gonna keep on moving. We also Doomerville. Now, development project. I'm just showing who they are. Impact 3-star. And then we had an athlete and Ryan Barnes who was 6'3", 215. So we know we can move him to tight end. Now he dropped down to a 62 from a 73, but we know the development and the red shirt gonna help him. Now I didn't bring one offensive lineman in this year because I knew I didn't have to. Jordan Seaton is 87 overall sophomore. He back. Philip Houston stayed for a senior year. He is 77. Left guard, look at this. Peyton Kirkland. So a lot of you niggas that said, what you going to do next year? You not paying attention to all them redshirt freshmen that was already on his roster just chilling? This is a redshirt sophomore now who's 6'6", 366 pounds with 94 strength right now. He ain't even nowhere near done development. And remember, he was a 4-star out of high school. He'll be a 3-star on here, though. But he was a 4-star in high school when he transferred from the University of Texas. My center been playing since his freshman year. He's 84. And then Yakiri Walker came back, so I got the backup there. You're looking at right guard Tyler Brown. He's not going to develop at all, even though he's their best offensive lineman in real life. I knew he wouldn't develop because he's only a normal. And he came in as a 2-star. 1-star normal. So he ain't never going to develop, and it sucks. That's the video game for you. Because in real life, he'll be on the field, right? But we not worrying about him playing at right guard at all when Khalil Benson was only a junior. He comes back. So he's getting kicked in the guard. And then we got a 375-pound monster, 99 strength on the outside right tackle. So all y'all niggas that talked all that Colorado, I don't know what you're going to do when they all leave. I'm showing you what we're going to do when they all leave. I haven't showed y'all too many of my rookies, my freshmen yet, right? Because we didn't need a lot of them. Even though we finished with the 27th class, we didn't need a lot of them. A lot of them motherfuckers going to get shirted and never see it down over here. This is all the talent that came back. Not need I mention. Left end, Tajay McCoy back. Quincy Wiggins is back. This was a redshirt sophomore, redshirt freshman. Look, Arden Walker, he'll probably never see the field. This kid came out of the transfer portal, Metlock. Bramble is a young kid that, unless he got impact on him, normal, he might not make the team at all, like depending on how he developed though. Right in, Okalolu. This is why I said Miami needs to send me his brother. But look, Nikhil Webber Walker up to a 90 strength. He developed real life NIL players. Listen, this guy can play D tackle at 275 with that 90 strength, in my opinion. And look, 4-star Brandon Davis Swain is coming off his redshirt year. He'll be all right. And then we got Mello Bayard. If he ain't got a impact or anything like that, he probably be up. He'll stick around. We'll keep him. All right, let's get to the D tackles. Now this is where we got hit the most at, because we lost five. We lost Shane Cokes. We lost five D tackles and 2 defensive ends. Bigsby at 84. Amari McNeil, they got, for whatever reason, they had him at defensive end. I moved him to D tackle once I was allowed to. Big Anquan Barnes is back. So I got a junior, senior. Now this is a non-NIL player. He was just on a roster at D, and I moved him. If you play with Colorado, you know this guy's always on a roster at D, and I just moved him to D tackle on red shirted. Anquan Barnes. You got Tafiq Thomas. All these guys are still here. And what I like about these kids right here, I like their size, right? But I'm not, I'm not sitting here like McCracken probably going to be out of here. I'm only looking at what they can do for me right now. Impact player at 330. If he develop at any way possible, then, it's cool. Like, nah, who the fuck is that? That's what's his name. I want to try and see you, boy. But like, this is a win right here at D tackle. I'm gonna change his name. So then you look at the outside linebacker. Jalen Wester is back. He's up to 86. Keaton Wade, who was at DN, his brother hit the portal, but he stayed. Morgan Pearson, who's actually a tight end, but if I move him to tight end, he'll drop down to like a 30. So I left him at linebacker because I'm gonna get the most out of him here. Because when it was position change, if I moved him to tight end, he would have been like a 30 overall. It never worked out. But he's actually a tight end in real life on their team. All right, middle linebacker Trent Hood back. Garcia went from a 67 to a 77. Now, here's the crazy part about it. This is why a lot of y'all don't be knowing what y'all be talking about. He's normal, but he went up 10 points he went from a 67 to a 77. Right? This is a real life player. He's from Florida, Fort Myers, Dion's area. 2-star. He already up to a 77, and I knew he would do this because every one of my dummy leagues, he kept developing like that. So it was something about him because he's normal. So the fact that he went up 10 points is real crazy. He was a 67 on his roster last year. He is now a 77. Playable right now, but he's not going to start over Montrez Walker, the Buford kid, right? His last name was Solid. I changed his name to Montrez Walker, but this is what he came in looking like. 4-star. So we know we got us one right here. The guy who I named him after is a real life player. So I didn't have to do anything besides change his name because he's from Buford, Georgia. That's where the guy actually coming from. If y'all know who Montrez Walker is, he actually is committed to Colorado for the 2025 class. And he wears number 8, and he's from Buford, Georgia, and he plays for Buford. So, like, this was like, damn, that's fate right there, in my opinion. So Montrez Walker, the only difference is he's black. So I tried to pick long sleeves on him to hide his shit. You feel me? Like, to hide who he is and shit. Long sleeve and pants on him, and put a visor on him. So, that's the one thing about, trying to make real life players and my real draft league and my real recruit league, you're not going to be able to do because you can't change what color they are. So, and really all the good players come out, you know what? Let me shut up. We Jeremiah Brown, we redshirted just to keep him on the team for just that piece. Right outside linebacker, Nikhil Hill-Green, who's really the middle linebacker in real life. He's back. We like this kid. I don't think he's a super development project, but this is part of my draft class. Well, I call it draft class because I told you I did it like the high school kids with draft picks, and transfer portal was free agency. So we like that. Now, where we like ourselves at right now is what we got. So McKinney comes back, 84, Hood at 80. Now, we're not going to wow y'all. And my team ain't too much off. We look better than a lot of you Big 12 motherfuckers that was screaming at, what you going to do when storing them when you shit? We look better than y'all right now. Now, with that being said, though, like, we don't look that much better than you. Majority of bulk of my rosters are in the 70s. But the difference in my guys being in the 70s, they all sophomores. They all fucking freshmen. They young. Like, it's the future, right? Isaiah Harge. If you follow Colorado, then you know Isaiah Harge. Is the other guy that wear the gray jersey in practice like Travis Hunter. I mean, he played running back in the spring game and scored two touchdowns, I think it was, or a touchdown. He plays receiver for them and corner. Bouze, he freshman. This kid I got late in the recruiting stage, 95. He only a 3-star though. I think he probably normal. Impact player. Ooh, I didn't peep that. So of course you know I'm naming me AI. Let's go. The torture part about it is he come out with the 95 speed or 95 speed, but the 89 excel, bro. Like I need this nigga to be fast, bro. Like I hope he develop by me planning. I hope he can go up in that acceleration. If I can get that to like a 91, 92, I'll be straight. This is out the transfer portal. This is one of those guys that I didn't even scout. I knew his speed. I knew what he would look like coming out the portal because of real draft. I make these guys every year. So I knew I ain't have to waste no points on scouting because I knew what he was. Just like the receivers I just got from out of the portal. And then these guys are casualties, right? Like these guys are, you better do something amazing in development. Like Coach Mo better develop these guys into a monster. But hey, where the grub at? Or they gonna all get cut. But I had to go after these guys to try to take us from the 78th ranked recruiting team to the 27th ranked recruiting team. And then I love my safeties. Look, I was in battles with these safeties. Ready? Gump, I was in battle with Jimbo. And Ron Israel, I was in the battle with Jimbo. I won both of these guys. And then he also got him late. His name was Hussein, but I changed it to Brenton because a lot of y'all know I always rotate my names even in college, right? But here's the thing, though. Watch this. All 4 of these guys, 3 of these guys are 4-stars, right? But this is the type of 4-stars that we was able to get. And it is what it is. And again, don't be scared away from normals because, look, he a normal. He a 4-star, but he a normal. He was like the number 7 safety in the country. I end up getting the number 7, the number 10, and the number 8 safety in the country. Then you look at Ron, and he's a normal. But I just showed y'all I had a normal go from 67 to 77. So don't think they like stop getting rid of these normals off y'all board and asking them to go to the portal. We got him out of the transfer portal.
Lowell brought back Ronnie.
You related to my cousin Ron? That mean you related to my cousin Steve, my cousin Timmy. You related to me.
Best put him back in his number.
He wore number 14 and 15. Remember, they retired 15, so he had to wear 14 at home. He wore 15 on the road. They wore 15, but they retired 15 for Steve at home. He wore 5 at Notre Dame, though. I'm not putting him in 5. He won't wear that 15. He should have 15 on. Yeah, I got 15 on him. He good. Now you telling me about my family, cuz. Come on, Matt. I know you went to his school and all that, but calm down. The fuck? And then we brought a lot of guys back. Everything at my strong safety position, pay attention. Stoudemire played for the team. We brought him back as a junior.
No name, we went to HS together at Haddon Heights.
Yeah, I know. Travis J, we redshirted him and brought him back. RJ Johnson developed until 91, 97. We love that speed. Oh, Cordell family, okay. And then these guys are portal guys that I just brought in trying to raise my recruitment side. So look, I'm gonna say it like this because we're gonna finish up with the Big 12 and we'll do the next 2 conferences tomorrow. Listen, I'm gonna say it like this: the Big 12, in my opinion, is up for the running, but whoever's going to maintain the stranglehold on the Big 12 is going to really do it through building their team. Simple as that. And it's more than just recruiting. You have to build your team. You got to hope that you got the right stuff and doing the right stuff to be able to get these guys to develop into the right stuff. I think when it comes down to the Big 12, in my opinion, honestly, I think Colorado should be in the championship game this year, playing either Arizona or UCF. Who you got, Max?
Say that one more time.
I got Arizona playing Colorado or UCF in a championship game for the Big 12.
That sounds accurate.
All right, fellas, if you was tuned in through the whole show, I appreciate you. We coming back to do the motherfucking Big 10 and the SEC tomorrow. We say the best for last year. and hits the franchise guru. You already know. Game day, we out.